Tonight's episode of the Tuesday Night Cigar Club is brought to you by Drew Estate. Come experience the rebirth of cigars at www.drewestate.com and download the free Drew Diplomat smartphone app today to discover nearby retailers, RSVP to special events, redeem points to win exclusive Drew Estate merchandise, and much, much more.
This might be a big mistake, but I'm having too much fun to wait. Flag her down when she comes back by. That one's yours and this one's mine. Bring another round. Bring another round. Bring another round. Bring another round. Bring another round.
Here's the Suckles.
Good evening, brothers and sisters of the Leaf. Coming to you live once again from the corner of no hope, it's the Tuesday Night Cigar Club podcast. Tonight the boys talk their way through the
1985 horny college kid who turns into a ghost and becomes even hornier TNA masterpiece School Spirit,
while smoking the
Whiskey Row Robusto cigar from Diesel Cigars,
paired with the
Devil's Envy Whiskey Barrel Aged Ale by Circle Brewing Company.
Sounds like it's going to be one hell of a good time, folks. So sit back, light 'em up, and enjoy the show.
You know, the practice of putting people in positions of power in this country that are not only ill-equipped to handle the responsibilities of the position, but just overall slime balls, kind of makes me sick to my stomach. Whatever happened to supporting people of genuine warmth and worth who deserve the positions that we put them in? Way to go, America. God help us.
Hey, guess what? In another couple of months, they're going to elect another bunch of assholes.
I think he was referring to Trump.
Oh. No. I was commenting on a situation that hits way closer to home for me and my family.
Excuse me.
ABC just announced that Colton is going to be the next Bachelor. I'm telling you, this wishy-washy virgin bonehead is going to make Juan Pablo look like George fucking Clooney. A virgin Bachelor? Seriously? I can't wait for those extra spicy overnight dates full of fully clothed pillow fights and staying up till dawn watching Disney movies. Maybe some board games? Unfucking believable. Shame on you, ABC. The American Broadcasting Company? I think not. Maybe start listening to Bachelor Nation and real red, white, and blue Americans, what they want. And then you'll have earned that name, American Broadcasting Company. You sacrilegious idiots. Thank you guys for... I can tell you we're all on the same page here. And
oh, yeah.
I just said what the room was thinking.
No, you are.
No, you did not say what the room was
yes, you
thinking.
did.
And I am now checked out.
Tut, you look shocked. Did you not know?
No, I didn't.
I didn't care.
I should have pulled you aside.
No, exactly. I mean, this guy sucks. He's dry as a board. I mean, you're right. Juan Pablo is going to look so charismatic next to this dude. Only thing worse is that if they went back to that farmer guy who's just like, man, I'd rather watch the farmer's plants grow than watch a Bachelor season with that dude on it. Man, give me Jordan.
For those of you Tuesday Night Cigar Club viewers who tune in for the doctor, I would like to go ahead and offer a disclaimer or sidebar, if I may. I have no idea what either of these two jackasses are talking about, nor do I care to. And I apologize for any of you who feel the same way that I do.
Doctor,
have a wonderful evening.
Are you wearing new glasses tonight?
I had to get a new pair.
I remember our last episode you were here, you got so excited that your lens shot out across the table.
Yes, last time, due to the nature of the festivities, there was a wound, and I could have repaired them, but I just figured, hell, just a new pair.
You're a doctor, you can afford
I
to
go with a new pair.
get it.
So these are a little bit, they're They're styled a little bit differently, but it's still the same.
You still definitely look
Still
intelligent.
the same basic prescription.
You look intelligent.
Well, thank you very much. I know you're lying to me, but that's all right.
No, that's why you're here, to give us your... Oh, put it back on. Put it back on.
My God,
Already,
the
I feel
embarrassment I'm feeling right now, just coursing through my veins. Every fiber of my body brims with sadness and embarrassment.
Just man, you look smarter with the glasses on. You should wear some glasses too next time. Yak boy.
Can I?
Do you have glasses?
No.
Yeah.
I should probably get an eye test though, because I can't tell who I'm talking to anymore.
You know
Check,
who else
check,
does?
check.
You know who else doesn't wear glasses? Colton.
Oh man, look at me!
Doctor, I'm going to need you to just write them a prescription for some testicles.
I stopped playing football because I didn't want to get concussions.
Actually, Cody, I'm writing out a prescription for you where you get to go and deliver 2 massive kicks to the testicles.
Wait, that's not a legitimate medical prescription.
Well, I tell you what, you want to chase that thread down the rabbit hole, sir, you go right ahead. But in here, I think I am the law when it comes to medicine.
You know, doctor, it's funny you mentioned rabbit hole.
Man.
Okay, look.
Good segue.
I did not realize that anyone was taking Polaroids at the time.
No.
No. Okay. Oh, all right. Sorry.
You're going to hear a little bit more about rabbit hole whiskey in just a second.
Club I used to go to called the Rabbit Hole.
Yeah, I kept going down.
That's a channel I watch called The Rabbit. Oh, wait a minute.
Welcome, everybody, to the Tuesday Night Cigar Club, episode 79?
79.
Get a little more enthusiasm there, Captain.
Well, no, I was thinking. That's my thinking sound. Ooh. 79. I believe it's 79.
That's correct.
That was not a welcome, everybody.
Our esteemed leader, Matthew Cade.
I'm super enthused about tonight, as a matter of fact. It's going to be a fun show. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We're trying to pump out quite a few episodes in a very quick manner, as opposed
Before we get off to Kentucky.
before we head out the road to the Kentucky Barn Smoker.
Boy, you got a pretty mouth.
If you'll notice during these opening...
No, wait, that's Arkansas.
That's Arkansas. You just
sorry
made
about
our
that.
trip to Kentucky
Now you're going to run into that.
very uncomfortable.
We've been waiting for you guys.
No, man. Next to Ken's one of my favorite movies.
It's actually on my list for us to do at some point next
We
to Ken.
should, man.
But no, we're doing a bunch of not quick episodes. God forbid we do a quick episode, but in a quick succession of episodes. So you'll notice in the opening voiceover, Keith, our announcer, Keith Ahow's there, but then a voice drops in with the fill in the gaps. He was actually doing some studio moving his recording studio.
Actual paying work.
So he'll be back after this little stretch, but I've gotten really good feedback on whoever's voice that is that we've got filling in the gaps for him.
Cody, I thought that you wouldn't tell him that.
Was I?
Cody said my smooth, docile tones just...
I did not say that. I didn't.
Maybe that was the doctor. Maybe the doctor.
Could have been the doctor.
Doctor liked it. Doctor likes... You always like what I'm up to, don't you? You get a kick out of me?
Smooth, dulcet tone sounds like something I'd say.
Yes, it does. It does. I'm going to get right to it because you guys look like you really want to light up some cigars tonight.
Just one.
We are going to smoke the Whiskey Row by Diesel.
Whiskey Row.
Diesel was a brand that for years was only sold through Cigars International. And now they've recently begun to spread out into some brick and mortars and whatnot. Our friend Shorty Rossi, who we had on the show, and we spent a little time with in Vegas, he's got his own cigar through the Diesel line, the Diesel Shorty. This is the Whiskey Row, and it's a little bit different. Let me give you some breakdown on this. It is a 5.5 by 52 Robusto. The wrapper is an Ecuadorian Habano wrapper, Mexican San Andres binder, and Nicaraguan filler. From our friends at Famous Smoke Shop, I learned this little bit of information. Diesel Whiskey Row cigars are a full-flavored selection that boasts a Mexican San Andres binder aged in Rabbit Hole, Kentucky, bourbon barrels. Rolled at Tabacalera AJ Fernandez. The core blend is a well-balanced recipe of 5 to 8 year aged Nicaraguan tobaccos grown in the pay attention, Condega, Jalapa, and Ometepe.
Whoa!
Finished in a shimmering 5-year aged Ecuador Habano wrapper, the result is a solidly built cigar that issues velvety textured smoke. That I can already attest to.
Yeah.
Velvety texture.
With an earthy, woody character that's dominated by rich oaky flavors.
Should.
Got a little bit more for you. Remnants of bourbon whiskey from the binder's aging barrels also arise amidst the cigar's sweet, spicy aroma.
I'm very aroused.
Contributing to this factor is a technique that A.J. Fernandez developed, whereby the San Andres tobaccos are rotated regularly in the barrels, in the whiskey barrels, which allows for better airflow and results in a richer aroma.
Okay.
I also read from other sources that these bourbon barrels that once held Rabbit Hole bourbon were first shipped to AJ back in 2016, and it took him this cigar is pretty right on the market.
He done pressed the bourbon right out of them barrels.
It took him many months of testing before he settled on the final process that imparts the perfect amount of flavor and aroma into the tobacco, and the Diesel Whiskey Row was born. Finally, in a press release, Justin Andrews, the senior brand manager for Diesel, said this: "A partnership between Diesel and Rabbit Hole." I don't know how his voice sounds. I just felt like maybe
that's the voice you went with.
I felt like I was using my voice too much.
It's like the pizza-faced teenager from The Simpsons.
I mean,
I don't think you're going to do that inside the restaurant.
Of all the voices to pick, that's the one, okay?
All right. In a press release, Justin Andrews, the senior brand manager for Diesel, said this: "The partnership between Diesel and Rabbit Hole speaks of going against the grain in traditional industries."
Now you're Sam Elliott in the Coors
No,
commercials.
I like the Trace Atkins voice. Let's go.
I'm just using my Trace Atkins voice. "Rabbit Hole doesn't claim to use 12-year-old juice or have a 6th-generation master distiller. Much like Diesel doesn't claim to be an old Cuban brand or have tobaccos that have been aged for up to 20 years. Nope. Both Rabbit Hole and Diesel are young, energetic brands with a unique go-to marketing strategy. We knew the first time both companies sat down, there was a tremendous amount of synergy."
Trace wouldn't use synergy.
No, I wouldn't. Lizzo was talking about Case tractors. That's American synergy between your legs. That's Case.
I don't.
Back to the cigar.
Yeah.
My apologies to Justin Andrews. I'm sure he talks normal.
Tony, will you read this resignation letter for me and tell me if it sounds good?
Yak Boy, give us a little bit of background on Rabbit Hole Distillery, if you would, please.
Rabbit Hole Distillery was started in 2012 by a man, I'm not sure I'm going to pronounce his name correctly, Kava Zamanian. It
don't sound like a Kentucky
no,
name.
it is not. I believe his wife actually got him into liking bourbon.
A lot of guys start drinking bourbon because of their wives.
That is true.
We kicked the Zamanians out of Kentucky.
They are here in the beginning of 2018. They had they're wrapping up their actual own distillery. They had been producing since 2012, but that had been producing under contract, so they're going to have their own distillery up and running. They've put together, they have 4 lines right now: straight bourbon, a rye whiskey, a sherry cask finished bourbon, and a rye barrel finished dry gin.
Yeah, interesting. Doctor, you enjoy a little gin every now and then, don't you?
I do indeed.
Okay. By the way, that was right off the top of Yak Boy's head. I didn't actually, before the show, ask him to get that information together.
Yeah.
He's just an encyclopedia of distilleries and breweries.
And if you wish to taste these remarkable things, go on down to Louisville, Kentucky.
Louisville is where Rabbit Hole is.
Yes.
And you can go in for some tastings.
Yes.
Hey, we'll be in Kentucky. Maybe we could go by.
We could.
Make a note of that. We're not going to go there, are we?
We're not.
No, that's not good.
Well, you're there, stopped by the Rick Pitino co-ed dorm on the campus of the University of Louisville.
I saw an ESPN headline today, the quote from him: "I'm never coaching again." Yeah, no shit. That's not a decision you get to make, asshole.
You finally came around to that, did you?
Light dawns on Marblehead. I think like 2 days ago, the quote was, "I'd like to coach again, given the right opportunity." 2 days later,
I'll never coach again.
I'm never going to be coaching.
Painfully obvious I'm done coaching.
Was it when you banged the chick on the Italian restaurant table, or was it?
Or was it the money you gave away to Adidas? Or was it the assistant coach that you had hire hookers for your teenage recruits? What was it that really was the straw that broke
Okay,
the
look,
camel's
I won't try to coach again. Can we just leave it alone, please? I'm done. I promise.
back? Wait, you knocked on our door this morning.
Just looking for some breakfast. All right.
My buyout package wasn't that great.
So we have a cigar with some of the tobacco aged in whiskey barrels,
Yes.
and we are drinking a beer that is also has something to do with whiskey barrels. Correct?
Yes.
It's just whiskey.
Oh wait, it's just a big giant glass of whiskey. Well, how's that for pairing?
Should be an interesting night.
It's not a bad whiskey beer either.
Devil's Envy Amber Ale aged in whiskey barrels. Tell us more, Yak Boy.
Well, Circle Brewing Company, located in the ever wonderful Austin, Texas.
Ugh.
Easy.
Or not.
Sorry.
Easy. Easy. I'm talking about my home.
It is, as you said, it is an amber ale, 4.8% ABV, 26 IBUs.
I honestly, when we were looking for these, this one appealed to me because it was one of the few whiskey barrel beers that wasn't 10,
That wasn't like-
12%.
yeah.
Well, most people, when they hear, like, you know, you hear something like bourbon barrel, everyone's thinking, oh, bourbon barrel stout.
Yeah.
But this is
Yeah.
actually a amber, so I mean, it's
It's red.
it is red. The Circle Brewing Company was
It's
started
something.
in 2010 by childhood friends Ben Sable and Judson Mulheron. I hope I pronounced that correctly.
It's Judson.
It's Judson.
I think you said Judson, right?
Yeah.
It's the Mulheron part I'm way unsure about. But they, with the help of family and friends, they pulled together enough money to get a lease and start construction on the brewery. They put out, that was in 2008, and in 2010 they put out their first beer, the Envy Amber.
Which is the original version of this beer, I would imagine.
Correct.
Huh.
So with this one, adding the using the whiskey barrels, obviously the Devil's Envy is, I guess, referring to the Devil's Cut, what they always refer to as the liquor that gets absorbed by the wood.
Oh.
So,
I never knew that.
I had never heard that before.
yes. As is their own description, Devil's Envy combines our deep love of beer with our other passion, whiskey. The first and
Those are two of my passions.
Wow, these guys, they get me. The first in the Inner Circle series, this limited barrel-aged brew redefines balance, rich molasses, smooth vanilla, and a familiar Tennessee bite derived from the American white oak, harmonized with the dried fruit notes and caramel malts from our Envy Amber. Of all the sins, this is the devil's favorite.
Yeah,
Devil's favorite sin.
upon first sip, I definitely got some caramel
Yes.
and a little bit of, I can see the molasses, but I actually think I did pick up on some of that vanilla on the front end too. It's a pretty good description, I think. I like it. I'm not a big red amber ale guy, but
I'm not a big whiskey barrel aged guy.
I'm not that at
and I actually like this.
yes, it's nice, Doctor.
Not sure yet. Definitely pick
far
up the
too-
vanilla.
Prognosis question mark.
Prognosis question mark for me right now.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't think I would actually with the first sip, and then I'm kind of warming up to it.
Yeah.
All right.
I find that happens with the more of them you consume.
It's usually our MO. That's usually how it works. Okay.
You know what? Now that I've had 17 of these things, I've really come around on it. It's fucking fantastic.
Beer's fantastic, man.
I will say this.
My God, this beer's good.
God, this fucking beer is great.
It is, and I not say. I'll say one good thing and one bad thing. It is kind of a doesn't the it's a very non-creative label.
I kind of like it.
Doesn't it look like it should be a strip club sign?
It does.
Kind of. Maybe.
It does.
No, Circle Brewing, their one thing is that they wanted
But I like
to
it. I like
stick
it.
with simplicity. So obviously, even their logo is literally a
Don't get me
circle
wrong, I don't think everything needs to be
with the word "circle" in it.
I don't think everything needs to be the clown shoes with like a million cartoon characters and this big mural on the can or anything. I don't know. Just Simplicity sometimes to me can be lazy.
I like it.
All right.
Circle. The circle around it.
I would have
Envy.
probably
Looks like
called it like circle.
I would have called it circle, envy.
Call it circle jerk.
I like it.
That's what they're saying when they listen to the podcast. Bunch of circle jerks.
And they're correct.
First impressions of the cigar.
A little too early to tell on the light, other than the smoke profile is gorgeous.
When we were lighting up before
I-
the show, the smoke pouring off of this cigar was just this really cool blue, and it was just like it was like watching a log on fire. Like it was just flowing like on its own.
I tell you what was interesting is on the cold draw, I got bell pepper with a backbite of chili pepper.
Before you lit up, for you folks at home, the cold draw is when you suck on the cigar before lighting it, get different notes. Green pepper,
Yeah, bell pepper
and what?
and a little hint of chili pepper. I've never gotten that off of a cold draw. Normally you get, like
Off
your
of pizza.
yes, normally you would get that off your pizza.
It's a cold supreme pizza.
It's like sucking on a piece of pizza. All right.
I believe it's a light chicken gravy.
Doctor, notes of yellow pepper or pickles, perhaps?
Orange pepper.
I think Todd has clearly misspoken. It's definitely poblano that I'm getting off this thing. No vegetables for me. But there is a pepper definite immediate hit there.
I'll tell you what.
It's called bell pepper.
Habanero, perhaps.
There's definitely, I'm getting red pepper on the retrohale. It's got a nice burn through the nose. I'm actually surprised. I was expecting a little something more smoky.
Yeah.
Like smoked, like campfire smoky. For some reason with the aging in the barrels, because they hyped up the woodsiness of it. I'm actually not getting a lot of woodsiness, and it's actually a lot smoother than it's a pretty damn smooth cigar so far.
I get just a little bit of woodsy into it, and that's mainly on the retrohale.
Yeah, I may be on the retrohale along with that red pepper, but no, I'm really just having a hard time on the draw. It's just smooth. It's just very.
It improved the beer after taking a couple of drags on the stogie. The beer seemed better to me.
Man, that's weird. We were just talking about that the other day, where you don't really get a cigar that improves the beer. It's always the beer impacting the cigar.
Yeah.
And perhaps it's because it nullified. I don't like. I'm kind of a purist with stuff as far as beer, as far as the that sweetness flavor. It's just something that I'm not a fan of. I think maybe this diluted a little bit of that.
Oh, that's quite possible. Maybe killed some receptors. Doctor, do people have receptors in
Oh,
their,
they absolutely
on their
have
tongues?
receptors. Yes, all over.
Those little bumps on your tongue.
Yeah.
What was it called?
Taste buds.
Taste buds.
Well, I was going to say taste nodes, but I guess if you want to use the regular layman's jargon,
Well,
Doctor, just give him this one.
that's buds.
Thank you.
Well, I've yet to have a whiskey barrel-aged cigar that actually tasted like whiskey, and this certainly doesn't seem to be breaking that tradition. I don't get any kind of bourbon whiskey kind of taste coming off of it.
No, me neither.
Oh wait, that's not 4.8. It's 48%.
And I get a little bit of whiskey from the beer, but it's not terrible.
No, it's not at all. It's actually one of a lot of flavors. Like I said, I'm getting the molasses, I'm getting the caramel, but it's not super dense.
No,
it's
it
not
isn't.
a heavy beer.
No, it's not.
Which I think, Doc, if you're not digging it, that'll help. That it's not, you're not slogging through a clown shoes. It's like a bowl of Campbell's soup.
Oh,
in your
if you
glass.
don't like this, it's got the viscosity of oil.
Yeah, I mean that was brutal. All right, I definitely think they're going to play okay together early on.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, and I think I know what I'm talking about. A website once said I had one of the top 11 palates in the universe.
They once said that.
Not that I bring it up or anything a lot. But
Every other week.
well, we do one other thing around here on Tuesday nights.
What's that?
Well, Yax mentioned the circle jerk earlier. Oh wait, are we
Oh,
rolling?
it's time to do that again. Fantastic.
Are we rolling?
Yes, we're rolling. Wait out. I'll get my macro in so we can see everything very good.
Again, are we rolling?
Oh. What?
We watch a movie, or we talk about a movie.
Oh, okay.
That we all have watched.
I thought it was like we cry in our beer.
No, for you people that are just joining us for the first time, better late than never. We all watch a movie independently by ourselves. It makes a lot of the movies we do that you have to watch them by yourself.
We're supposed to watch a movie?
I don't know if you can walk into my podcast, drop a circle jerk challenge, and leave.
We talk you through a movie as we smoke our cigars, we drink our beers, and tonight is no different. All the kids are going back to school in the last 2 weeks.
Okay.
And we're also entering our favorite time of the year, the time of horror movies for Halloween. We always do a stretch of horror movies leading up to Halloween.
Yes, we do.
Tut loves it. It's his favorite part of the year.
I do actually. I actually like Halloween. It is my favorite part of the year. Not necessarily our movies.
Yeah. You just like candy corn.
I like candy corn. I love candy corn.
I like those little pumpkin candy corns.
Oh man, the mini Reese's is what I just absolutely go after.
Yeah, those are trouble. Those are trouble.
Now Reese's peanut butter cups.
Yes.
Yeah, but the little
Reese's
ones.
the regular Reese's peanut butter cups. Those are the greatest of all time.
That is God's candy.
Yeah, doesn't get much better than a Reese's peanut butter cup.
And I also like the beginning of the school year because I'm usually invited to do a series of lectures on avoiding people who refer to things as God's candy.
How are those going?
Well, yeah.
Received well?
So I've been told.
Oh, you had a little
Then they're
problem.
like, who the hell's that guy up on stage?
Why is he giving us candy corns?
Well, they had a little problem
Gotta
when
go.
he kept showing up in this black van with the windows tinted out.
We knew it was you're the doctor of the Gleaming Spires. Oh, we'll get to that in a little bit. So with school starting, school's on my mind.
I like the school starting tie-in. That was nice.
It's the time of year of school starting, thank God. And also that we're starting our run of movies leading up to Halloween. I decided, dude, this movie has been on my radar for at least 2 years, but it has been unavailable to stream, legally anyway. We only do movies that you can go out there and do and not feel guilty about. You can feel guilty about watching the movies we tell you to.
There's a lot of guilt involved.
There's a lot of guilt.
It's just nothing. You haven't done anything illegal.
But it's legal. And now this is available on Amazon Prime for like $2.99. It is School Spirit, 1985. School
1985.
And you're going to have a lot of fun on this one tonight, folks. So kick back, light you up something that makes you happy, pour yourself a cold one, and enjoy the show. And we are out of here.
Awesome.
Good show, boys. Oh, give me a cigarette.
Did I miss something?
I got to actually do the movie.
I'll be
Yeah.
giving,
Oh,
I'll be giving a talk on God's candy at Stephen F. Austin University
Sorry.
on Thursday evening. Oh.
so I knew that was too easy. Did I just do a Dennis Miller and I am out of here?
Yes, you did.
Can I start doing that at the end of the show? Or that's his thing?
That's his thing. Yeah.
And anything that's Dennis Miller's thing, you don't want to be yours.
Hey, I'm a Dennis Miller. I know he went cuckoo over the last decade or so, but
I like Dennis Miller.
I like Dennis Miller. Hey, Chachi.
Oh boy.
Oh, boy.
Remember his-
Kate puts on a headband. It's like something out of a Hemingway novel. Am I right, Cha-Cha?
I don't know what you sound like.
I like it,
I don't
man.
know
I
what
kind
you
of like
sound
it. I'm liking it. A couple more of these beers, and you're gonna be right.
It's like
spot
Cade,
on.
the Navajos called. They want some of their turquoise back, babe. That's a terrible.
digging it.
I don't know what I'm doing.
No.
While
it's
you're at it,
awesome.
give us some of his ill-fated turn on Monday Night Football.
It's awesome. It's awesome. And I liked Dennis Miller on Monday Night Football.
Oh, it was something.
It was
something.
something.
Oh, by the way, football's back, so I'm.
Football is back.
Yeah.
Okay, School Spirit. School Spirit. Enough.
What? They don't have football in this movie. They even lost their football team.
There's a reference to it.
That's true. We'll get there. Real quick, before I do this, because now everybody's full force in the cigar. Anything new?
Not really.
I'm liking it. It's good. I'm not getting full strength at all. It's very.
I'm not getting full strength at all.
It's right in the medium territory. Good construction. It's burning. Perfect line, perfect draw. But man, I'm getting pepper through the nose and just a mineral kind of earthiness. Very smooth flavors, but not a lot to discern.
That's about all I can say. I mean, I have to go ditto on what you just said. I mean, I'm not getting anything.
Nothing jumping out at you.
Nothing jumping out at me.
Doctor.
And believe it or not out of sheer laziness. I think that you hit it on the head. Pepper through the nose, medium, nothing really that stands out as a specific flavor to articulate.
Okay.
When you said jumps out at you, I was like, oh no, here it comes.
Before we started the show, we were talking about we're going to be doing the new Halloween movie in October. Tut's a little adverse to jump scares, and the doctor was sneaking around trying to scare the dickens out of the dickens out of him, babe.
Oh God! You know what though? I mean, enough is enough, right?
Yeah. All right. I watched the ash. It tends to drop.
Oh, I did my.
Okay. It's not hanging. It's a beautiful ash, but it's not hanging on very long. School Spirit, 1985.
Not hanging on very long, tends to drop. What are we talking about here?
Well,
now see, that should have been said in the Miller voice.
I wish I would have. Getting frustrated over here, babe. It's like sitting behind Erykah Badu at the Grammys. It's like, why did I even come? Huh? I don't even know what.
There's a little dice clay in there. There's a little.
Where I came up with that Erykah Badu reference.
We're not even going to do the movie. We're just going to listen to that. Actually, you should do the whole movie in that accent.
Right.
Well, if he does that, Toto, this is how I'm going to talk, goddammit.
Oh, this is the best podcast
He's
ever.
not going to be the only one to have fun. Fuck you.
This is the best podcast ever.
Get back to School Spirit.
Hey, you know, Dennis Miller was in a horror movie. Bordello of Blood, Tales from the Crypt.
Blood, Tales of the Yes,
Crypt,
he was.
Yeah.
Where interestingly enough, and this is a TNCC tie-in because we had done some shows earlier in the year and even before, we'd a lot about the two Coreys.
Feldman was in it.
Feldman was in it, and I think go back and watch our show. We think the consensus was we don't know if whatever Feldman says probably needs to be taken with a grain of salt, but he blasts Dennis Miller on his IMDb page. There's just multiple paragraphs where he just says that
Dennis Miller touched him?
No, there was no touching.
I thought Dennis Miller blasted him.
No.
Okay.
Well, maybe so, but that's not what he said.
Just drink the Kool-Aid, babe. I'll be back in 30.
No, he just that Dennis Miller was the worst actor he'd ever worked with as far as just a real asshole.
Yeah, I can see that.
And that, I think he even said something like he walked by one morning like, "Good morning, Dennis." And he just kept walking, didn't say anything to him. That was Feldman's assessment.
Yeah. I think we'll all take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I can see Dennis being that way too.
Yeah, I don't know how much of that is his persona and how much of that. As a comedian, I always liked him.
Of course, it depends if Corey Feldman's all coked out of his mind coming out. Hey, Dennis!
This would have been
I'm gonna
95.
keep on
This would have been
walking.
after his.
Okay.
This would have been when he was struggling to get roles.
Hey, Corey, how about slapping some Ray-Bans? Those pupils are lighting it up for 2 blocks.
Come on, Corey, be a man, damn it!
I'm going to stop with the Dennis Miller.
Thank you.
I'm enjoying this.
Oh, all right.
It ain't Dennis Miller in that headband.
When I was younger, I traded I may have said this on the Dice Man episode. I actually traded an older brother of a friend of ours, my Nintendo system, and in exchange, he went to the Hastings record store and bought me like $100 worth of comedy tapes because they wouldn't sell them if you were under 17 because the explicit stuff. And one of those cassette tapes he bought me was Dennis Miller's Off-White album, and it to this day is one of the best comedy albums. I'd listen to it over and over.
Dude, when he was on, man, he was on.
Oh man, it was
I'm
good
so
stuff.
disappointed there wasn't a hand job in that story. When I was younger, an older brother of a friend of mine
In exchange for a Dennis Miller comedy album, I did some terrible things.
It got really hot with that opening, and then it just faded out.
I don't know whether to be flattered that you thought that was
The older brother
that
of a
was
friend of
hot,
mine.
or-
What the hell? Wait. Oh, yeah. Now I get. Oh. It's too late. You can't scare.
School
You
Spirit.
can't scare that.
School
image out of my
Spirit,
head.
Spirit, 1985, directed by a gentleman named Alan Hullab, who started his filmmaking career by directing Candy Stripe Nurses for Roger Corman's New World Pictures back in '74.
Yeah.
I can attest to it. It's a fun flick. And ended his career directing tonight's film for Roger Corman's Concord New Horizons studio in '85. 2 movies. That's all the guy did. Both for Corman, about 10 years apart.
He's now Senator Holub.
That was. I don't actually. I imagine he's still around. Maybe. Well, as the new Concord logo emerges on the screen, it's clear that we're probably watching a really good VHS transfer of the film.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. You get that
I've seen
little
a lot.
shake. You
I've seen
get
a
that
lot.
little shake.
I've seen a
through
lot
there.
worse.
At first, I was like, Amazon ripped this and just.
It is
bootlegged
it is
it up
not an
there?
HD rental. It is the $2 SD. But hey, man, for years you haven't been able to watch this in any form, so take it.
That's all they got.
That's all you got.
There is no DVD of School Spirit yet.
You're all I'm making while I'm selling them out of the
I'm
back of
making
my
one
car.
now.
But that's okay. I've watched worse transfers, and like I said, at least we're able to watch Sucker legally. So hopefully, Alan Hollab gets a few quarters off of our rentals.
Gets a Happy Meal.
I'm sure Corman gets everything.
Probably.
So we drop in on a typical spring day at a typical university campus, Lavatoire College.
Yes.
Well, as our trusty narrator tells us, it's not all that typical. It's not at all that typical, actually, as it is the day before Hog Day, and the students are already starting to get crazy.
Oh, Hog Day.
How do we know this? Well, there's a classroom in the middle of lecture when a dude dressed up in a hog costume starts dancing outside the window. I have a feeling I'm going to like Lavatoire College. I like shenanigans.
I wish I'd matriculated there.
I would have gone there, but I don't know if I could say that a lot. Lavatoire. It just takes
Say
too much effort.
the Lav.
LC. Lavatoire College.
It made me reminisce of another college romp movie we did. Made me think of Lepetamine University.
Which one was that?
Up
Up
the
the
creek.
Up the creek.
Lepetamine.
Who I believe our lead guy was in with Up the Creek.
Was he? I don't think so.
No.
Okay. You sure about that?
Pretty sure.
Maybe this he just
Pretty
has
sure.
a bit roll.
We shall see.
What?
There are a lot of recognizable people
Well,
in
who
here.
is
There
our
are.
who is our trusty lead actor, the narrator who's telling us what's going on? You ask. Why, it's no other than Billy Batson, who describes himself as Mr. One Trick Mind. Even in the voiceover, you hear the little lascivious. We join him later that night in President Grimshaw's office, working on some extracurricular activities. He's sitting on the president's desk with a bottle of cheap champagne, doctor style, next to Judy Hightower, sorority queen and straight A student, Cade style.
Champagne is moderately priced when I
Cade
try
style?
to use it.
What's that?
Cade style? Straight A student?
If A's were C's,
How
babe.
many beers have you had so far?
Just 2. All right, I'm a fraud, okay? C+ at best. She's nervous, and that's your fault. Get me drunk all the time, asshole. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that. She's nervous that they'll be caught, even though she supposes that if they did get caught, they could just lie and say they're working after hours on the endowment committee. And Billy assures her, if they get caught, they'll just be admired for putting in extra hours in their school spirit. He said the name of the movie.
He did. He did. There it
like
is.
2 minutes in, he said the name
Wouldn't
of
it
the movie.
appear that Billy, as a 36-year-old college senior, has already put in a great many hours?
Well, he proceeds to basically date rape her. She says no like a million times, with her justification being, and it's a good one and legitimate, she's going places in life, law school, and if anybody saw them together with his bad reputation, it would bring her future to a crashing halt.
Not really.
No, it's okay, babe. I'll be all right, he coos. But then she clarifies to the idiot, no. My life will be ruined, not you. I love that. I'll be okay, babe. If we get seen together, I can... No, you're the loser.
You're the one in 16th senior year of college.
Exactly.
But he continues to rip off his shirt and kiss her exposed stomach. I'm sorry, I just got to say it. This chick is so gorgeous.
She is.
Yes.
We've seen a lot of these movies, but for some reason, this movie...
Is it Judy Hightower? Was
Judy
that the name of
Hightower.
the character?
Yes.
Until he kisses her stomach so much, despite her screaming no, she eventually gets worked up enough that she asks him if he has any protection. You know,
That's how things went in 85.
the 80s. Billy explains, hell no, I don't have a rubber. What would you think if I pulled out a rubber? It would take everything away from this special moment, which is instead a spontaneous, once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that's a beautiful and shared experience between two people who are irresistibly attracted to each other. Yax, did you take notes?
He's got a point.
Did
You got to use this one, buddy.
anyone here besides me ever use that line of shit before?
Well, you know, I would think at least he would respond. Well, what would you think of me? Well, I think you came prepared.
Wasn't that a Charlie line from Sunny in Philadelphia? Condoms. Nobody uses those anymore.
Well, young Harvey Weinstein gives her a fresh glass of bubbly.
I am pro condom, by the way.
and,
Stay safe out there.
I think TNCC is pro safe sex.
Well, there's our PSA for the day.
We gotta have something.
Wear your Jimmy hats, folks. Wear your Jimmy hats.
yes, that's better than
Otherwise
the other
it'll
one.
be
Just-
as hot
just
as-
kiss her stomach until she changes her mind.
That is not our PSA statement.
I was just waiting for him to,
Well, there
bring out
is
a
something
Quagmire,
to
more
be
Ruthie
said about
Colada?
persistence. The never give up attitude.
Until it's like 3 minutes later and you're still struggling like opening a bag of chips. Sorry. Tut seems to get a kick out. That's the only reason I'm still doing it. I'm making Tut giggle. Where was I? He gives her a fresh glass of bubbly and he starts racing around town like a madman looking for rubbers. He finally finds one in a bar bathroom vending machine. First he tries to get was it for black guys? It's like it said something.
Size of a sock.
But it was like the size of a tube sock. So he got to that and he finally found one that said Lucky something on it. It says Lucky Rubber. So he starts racing back to campus to give a pop quiz to Judy. I'm going to drop a lot of sexual innuendos based around academia tonight.
Obviously.
Went over your three heads. And on the way, he drops the condom onto the floorboard of the car. I guess it's his unlucky condom. He reaches down to get it, and he swerves in front of a semi, and boom, he is out. Dawson's Creek style, yo.
Did you say
Spoilers.
Dawson's Creek style, yo?
Spoilers.
It's been 20 years. It's no spoiler. That's how Dawson's dad died. He dropped an ice cream cone on the floor in his car, and he bent down and got killed.
Oh, I failed to remember that.
I was just thinking of all those like 80s PSA. Batson was driving. He dropped his condom on the car floor. Batson killed 3 people.
Don't be Batson. And don't be someone who publicly admits to watching Dawson's Creek on a podcast.
Yo.
Welcome back, everybody. Breaking news. Our archivists and research team has come back to us. Billy Batson was in 1984's Up the Creek. He was one of the rich preppy kids.
One of those assholes.
Cade 1, asshole 0.
No, he's one of those assholes, not one of these assholes.
Oh, I thought you were talking about these guys being assholes.
No.
Oh. Yeah, those preppy guys were real assholes.
There's those and these.
I love you guys. You're not assholes. Don't you write anything in those notes, doctor. Is that my permanent chart? My permanent medical record?
That whole permanent chart thing is a bedtime story for nervous children.
Oh, I don't know. That's good. It's good to know.
I might need to proofread this a little later on just to make sure.
And Tut, you're going to also before we start recording, you're going to delete that Dawson's Creek yo thing I said.
Yeah, I totally will.
Okay.
Totally will.
You were going to delete it before he called us assholes.
Are we ready to start up again?
We started.
Yeah. Hang on, here we go. And we're going.
All right, take us through the movie, Pacey.
Yo.
Do you know Dawson's Creek? Well, as Billy lays dying on the operating table, a cigar-chomping ghost enters the room. It's Uncle Pinky, Billy's dead uncle. The fun uncle who gave Billy his first beer at a family picnic when Billy was only 4 years old.
You know it, kid. You know it.
But you died the year after that picnic, Billy exclaims. Yeah, too much booze and too many broads. It's the old Batson curse, Uncle Pinky says. No, that sounds like a shitload of STDs and a heart attack. That's what killed you, Pinky. Did you guys recognize Pinky?
It took me a second, but I did.
I never could place the face.
Obviously, he's an old actor. He's been in a lot of things, but he was the Hoover Dam guide at Vegas Vacation. Here's a damn.
Yeah. Gotcha.
And, Todd,
John Finnegan is the man's name.
for those of us who are baseball fans, are you familiar with the film The Natural?
Oh, yeah.
He is the scout at the very early beginning when Robert Redford is a young guy.
Gotcha. Oh,
And
wow.
They meet Robert
yeah.
Duvall on the train. He's like, I'm taking out a real slam bang pitching prospect here. We're going to go see the Cubs. That's him.
Yeah, I knew I'd seen his face. I knew I recognized him from somewhere, but I never could.
Sam
never
was
could
his
make
name.
it. Yeah.
Sam, the drunken baseball scout.
For some reason, I always when I listen to him, I always think of the guy from Quantum Leap, the hologram that he talks to. For some reason,
Sam,
he has.
what's the guy's name from Quantum Leap? Sam?
I think so. I think that was the character name, but it had that. He had the
What's
same.
that old guy's name? He's been in a million things.
That's a good
Not-
question.
He just
Not,
had the same mannerisms.
Not
to
Dean
me.
Stockwell.
Dean Stockwell. Good job, Doc. Anyway,
I think that moves 1 for you, and I get about 7 for that one.
I don't know. He either died of STDs or heart attack, or with a name like Uncle Pinky giving 4-year-olds beer, something way more sinister. Some parents caught up to him in a like Freddy Krueger.
Because Billy's like, oh god, it's Uncle Pinky.
Some parents like cornered him in an old factory and set him on fire.
Hey, Billy, I see you're all grown up now, young.
Well, he has the fedora.
Uncle Pinky's working for the man upstairs. He's fine.
You're a growing boy.
That is true. He has been sent down to do God's work.
Well, I'm going to question a lot of this later on. But Billy quickly
I don't know.
realizes,
Sounds like my heaven.
hey, if I'm talking to a dead man, that means I must be dead too.
Oh,
And he really sells that
Well,
moment.
he is a student.
scholar.
He's
Jeez.
on top of, well,
Now we
apparently
understand
girls,
why
but
he's 43.
He is in his 17th senior year of college.
The guy makes Screech from Saved by the Bell look like Peter O'Toole. Am I right?
God damn it, I'm serious. If you don't knock that shit off, I'm going to start doing this too.
As Pinky tries talking
best
Billy
night
into
ever.
entering the bright white light in front of them to
Fuck
go to
you.
heaven, Pinky gets distracted by a hot nurse and walks off. So Billy, he sees how Pinky changes form. They're ghosts, but when Pinky does
the
this,
curly?
he doesn't actually make that sound.
It's almost the
He kinda
it's
pats
almost the
himself on the-
Schmitz gay, the little just does it over the top of his head.
He just kind of pats the top of your head, and all of a sudden you resume human form.
God, that'd be so awesome to have that power.
Oh yeah.
I was like, wow, man, they can interact with everything.
it's
well-
like they're not even dead.
yeah, it's
Billy-
weird.
I'm gonna get to work on that.
Billy taps the top of his head, goes in the operating room, grabs the rubber out of his former self's hand. He's laying
Which
there.
I can only sit there and say, that is an amazing, even in death, he hangs on to that rubber with
Hey,
an iron grip.
It is Judy Hightower.
Well, this is true.
Well, that's the reason why he's haunting, is
And he
that
bounced-
his drive was so hard.
I mean, but what did they say? Like, they got him in the hospital? He just won't let go of the rubber, doctor. Dad, leave it.
It doesn't matter. And he bounces the fuck out of there. Death or no death, he's getting laid. There's a funny moment where one of the OR nurses, that's medical terminology, doctors, you know, for operating room.
Yes.
The nurses look under Billy's sheet where he's in a coma. I've never seen anybody brain dead with a heart on before. And the other nurse looks at her. Guess you never met my boyfriend.
She did a great delivery on that line, though, 'cause it's
She
real
does.
quick and straightforward.
Yeah, like I think it was maybe
it was
like,
a real quick scene, actually. It was
Yeah.
like, boom, joke, out.
yeah, it was nice. As Billy escapes, Uncle Pinky is just about to score with the ditzy nurse when his boss shows up from heaven and orders him to find Billy pronto. He also asks why his choice. I like this scene. You have your choice of all the fine cigars we offer in heaven. Apparently heaven has a humidor.
Oh, man, come on. This is so cool.
That's a good heaven.
Why would it not?
Why do you still choose to smoke those cheap ones? And Pinky smiles, because I like them. He likes cheap chicks and cheap cigars.
Uncle Pinky.
It's
Bats
good.
and curse.
One, it's good to know that there's premium cigars in heaven.
Oh,
Because I'm assuming everything in this movie is true. And two, I smoke a lot of cheap cigars that despite, we have our access to a lot of really nice cigars, there's still a lot of cheapos I go to.
yeah.
And I don't, I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks. So you know what? Go Team Pinky. Way to go, Uncle Pinky.
We're on Team Batson.
Yeah. I think
But I do question what
because
kind
we all
of
see ourselves
in
as
this world,
cursed
what
in
kind
one
of
form or another.
heaven does it decide that Uncle Pinky is the guy that we need to come and bring new souls up to heaven?
Because he was a family member. He was a family
He's
member.
not going out and getting Joe Schmo off the street.
But still,
He's a family member. They didn't want to freak Billy out, so.
But then again, maybe he does go to random people. Maybe
Do you
part
really
of
think anything
Pinky's-
would have freaked Billy out? Heaven? He's kind of a mongoloid. For the
Yeah,
most
a little
part.
bit, yeah.
We're going well. Wait, what?
Hey, why don't you go smoke that outside and then come on back in here? No, I'm thinking Pinky's got to maybe make some penance for all his years of booze and broads.
Yeah.
So God's like, you're not going to sit up here with the premium cigars. You're going to go down there and you're going to do some work, sonny.
That's true.
You're smoking the bundle cigars for at least half an eternity.
Wait.
I'm
you mean I
managing you
can
to Earth so that you can lay nurses who are unsuspecting that you're really dead. Then you can disappear in the morning. Ah, jeez.
Exactly. Yeah,
Okay.
you know.
Man, sounds good to me.
I got a lot of making up to do, big guy.
Sorry.
The next morning, we find Billy sliding in next to Judy in her bed as she sleeps at the sorority house. He's got his lucky rubber. Actually, I think by now we know it's an unlucky rubber. And he's ready for action, but imagine this, she's not having it. She tells him whatever signals she might have given him were only a result of the cheap wine he poured down her throat. And she's definitely not interested. There's absolutely nothing between them. Again, she says, you are a giant loser. But,
Well, here, why don't you just take this wine and you just kind of put it in there?
oh, guys, the Cosby. But in Batson form, he still tries.
the 80s, man. It was the 80s.
He still tries to slip off her lingerie anyway.
he is completely undeterred. Her
Total.
words are meaningless.
And this is our hero in the movie, the 80s. She's freaking out that her roommate Kendall will wake up, or worse yet, Mrs. Kingman, the house mother, will find them.
Okay. I have to know. Who is Miss Kamen? I'd seen her. Hold up. Is that Jerry Seinfeld's mom? Bam!
It's Mrs. Seinfeld.
Oh, I got that like last night. I'm laying in bed and I'm just like, at first I was leaning towards Sopranos, Tony Soprano's mom, and I'm like, no.
Oh, yeah, that was kind of similar look.
Yeah, but I was like, no. Holy shit, that's Jerry Seinfeld's mom.
Yeah.
Nice.
And sure enough, they hear Miss Kingman out in the hall. So Billy slips out of the room, and just as Mrs. Seinfeld is making her rounds, he quickly ducks into another bedroom where a highly bodacious babe is butt-ass naked on her way to the communal showers. Billy might be dumb, but he ain't no dummy. He instinctually taps the top of his head, rendering him invisible, and he follows her into the steamy bathroom.
Makes a Batson proud.
15 minutes into this fucking flick, and we're shown a plethora of naked college girls showering carefree in all their innocent glory.
Amen.
I knew this movie was going to rock fucking balls 2 years ago when it came across my radar, and here we are. You're welcome, assholes. What a movie. I'm sorry, I called you guys assholes again. I'm sorry.
Again.
I'm going to write that
No,
down.
no, doctor, there's no reason to write anything down.
No, you have to write that down. Write that down.
Well, eventually it's all too much eye candy for young Billy. He's invisible, but he's just seeing too much of the showering girls. You think they're wondering who spilled all the conditioner all over the floor?
Do you think they're wondering about the weird shadow in the silhouette that's just like spanking it over
It's going
there?
like, what's that over there in the corner?
That's kind of where I was going with my conditioner on the floor joke.
Yeah, but you just called us assholes for the second time in
Oh,
10
now you
minutes.
guys aren't going to laugh at my jokes
I
anymore?
was just waiting for one of them to say, what is that rhythmic slapping sound?
Oh, God.
Good
Oh,
job.
no.
Good job, Cody.
Oh,
Good
no.
job.
Oh, God.
Oh, Sandusky wouldn't have been in that shower.
Jeez. With the heat I'm feeling in this room
Here,
tonight, it's
apparently
like
my jokes
Jerry
bring the room to a
Sandusky.
standstill.
You're like Jerry Sandusky at a Boy Scout convention, right?
I swear to Christ, Dennis, I'm going to put my foot in your ass and break the goddamn thing off. One of us is going to make Tut piss himself, and I'm not sure it's you, fuckbrain.
We're even now. We're even. Or you were calling my Dennis Miller a fuckbrain.
I don't get even. I move ahead. That's the way Bert does things.
Oh, Bert and Dennis is awesome.
So he sprints outside, young Billy. But like the doctor said, young Billy's in his 30s. he's not a youngster. But you know what? It's clear he's been the main Hogmeister party animal for.
He's aged a lot in college.
He's not on a 4-year program.
No.
Actually, Billy is 24. He just looks 36.
No.
That's how the hogs party.
That's how the hogs party. Sam Houston State University style. Well, Judy is, for some reason, still waiting outside for him. He's been in that shower forever to give her a ride to class, despite the fact that he's wearing a hospital gown with his bare white ass cheeks showing out the back. She didn't bat an eye at that.
Nope.
The 80s? Is that
It's 80s, man.
going
It's
with
the
that?
80s.
No, he is Billy Batson after all.
The one and only Billy Batson. As soon as he drops her off at class, she's swooped up by the campus preppy pretty boy Greg, and they walk off together arm in arm. Greg has really good hair and a really good blazer. How can Billy's ghost ass compete with that shit?
Can't.
Can't.
I mean, this-
Can't.
That's the correct answer. You can't.
Not with that blazer.
Not with that blazer.
I mean, it really was a good blazer. I was impressed.
Where you guys at with the cigar?
I'm about midway through. It's picking
Yeah,
up a
about
little.
half.
Picking up a little bit in strength now.
Straight picked up mill point. I also started to get a really dark kind of woodsiness that I never got any of that early on.
I'm not really getting dark, but I'm definitely getting more of a woodsy flavor to
Yeah,
it.
that's happened in the middle portion of the cigar, which
Yeah.
is nice because I was having a hard time.
Yeah, that first third really wasn't doing a lot for me. I mean, it was pleasant. It was a nice cigar, but it just wasn't, making my taste nodes sing.
Yeah, I'm getting some of the oak and the oakiness, and the strength has picked up. It's also picked up a little bit in the nose. I'm getting a little more strength in the nose pepper. I like the middle portion so far a lot better than the first portion, and it's still smooth.
agree.
It's still smooth.
Yeah. It's been a nice smooth smoke the entire
Doctor, you
time.
enjoying it?
I am. Can't really tell any changes.
Where you at?
He's a little bit. Before.
You should. We're about midway through the cigar. They should come to you. Let us know if they don't, because then we look like liars. Are you getting anything? You're about the same with the doctor. You're not quite there yet either, though.
But I'll have to say, it is have that little bit, like you said, a little bit darker. I still get the
Yeah,
little
it's about
pepper
right
on the
now.
retro hell, but I'm not detecting like any other subtle flavors. So I wish there was.
Well, I am still getting lots of tasty flavors in the beer.
Very much so.
Well, yes,
I like it.
I do too.
It has maintained that sweetness.
It's not necessarily a go-to beer. I mean, I don't know. There's so many times where there's a nice beer, but I don't know if I can see myself ordering it at the pub.
I would
with a lot of other different choices.
I'm not a stout guy, so in the winter months, if I'm looking for to stray away from my beloved IPAs and into something a little more richer, a little more.
This would definitely.
I would actually could see on a cold winter's night, curling up by the fireplace at my favorite pub. I could see me ordering one of these.
I could see that for people that just love that bitter, but then want something a little bit heavier.
And by the way, I'm not allowed to curl up by the fireplace anymore. He makes me sit in a seat like everybody else. I'd curl up like a dog right there in front of the fireplace.
Maybe if you had pants on, it would have been a different story.
Well, let's not fib.
It's the Batson family curse, man.
Well, let's not fib. If the fireplace is going, Tut's in front of that.
Slap the top of your head and your pants disappear?
Okay, so we all like the beer and we're all enjoying, but we're not quite sure what the cigar is quite yet.
I don't care for the beer, but give me another.
I'm sorry, you're right. You've been on the record. You're not a fan.
I would, always be careful with those backhanded compliments too. I would never buy this if I had other options. I'm not saying it's not a go-to beer. If there was anything else available, I wouldn't drink it. But yeah, you're basically saying you don't like it.
No, I do like it.
And Doctor, we actually do have some Lone Star in the fridge if you want to switch at some point.
I'm gonna give this a college try.
Okay.
I'm gonna give this the Batson try.
All right.
No, you can like a beer, but like other beers better.
Well, you can like
That's
movies.
pretty
and
much-
you can like anything.
I like
it better.
exactly. I like cigars, but there's other cigars that I like
we
better.
did this with the shandy, and everybody was saying the same thing. Cade was like, well, if I was outside on a 100-degree day under extremely heightened circumstances at someone else's barbecue, there was literally nothing else to drink, then yeah, I might have another one of these. Like, okay, you don't like it.
If there was a Viking holding a 9mm Uzi to my head and saying that I had to like it,
Every single one of the other beers at the O'Brien's Tap Law wasn't working, and Cody had a barrel of this and a mop bucket behind the bar. Yeah, I'd drink it.
I forgot about that shandy. It's the official beer of Guantanamo Bay, babe.
not sure
Because
I
you
got
make
the
them
time.
drink it because it was shit.
Oh,
No, that's you tried to be. You were like, well, I think there's this laundry list of 27 different things that had to be in place for you to drink one again. If I were dying of thirst in the desert, and
All right.
but I could see myself going for a third beer
I'd
tonight.
already leached all of the fluid off of Tut's corpse, and there was literally nothing else to drink.
So you're saying after I would drink the blood of my fellow brothers, then I would turn to that beer?
Yes.
If there was nothing else.
If that was all gone, and like there was no oasis in sight that made a pile of sand appear as if it were water, then
Oh wait, I'm in the desert. Is that some camel piss? I think I'll get that before the beer.
Oh, I'm so thirsty. Is that camel piss? Oh, it's a shandy.
it's a devil's envy.
Well, I actually would buy this again.
I do like it.
Under not so crazy circumstances.
No, I'm putting
In terms
some
of the
crazy
in terms of a
circumstances
barrel
up there.
aged,
Yeah, you did.
I've never had a barrel aged amber, and I'm really liking this.
If I was in the bar and there was nothing else, I mean, I wouldn't choose it if I had anything else I could drink.
I just like the fact you called me on that. That was nice.
As a pub owner, Yax, had you ever heard of Circle Brewing?
I had not.
Okay. They're fairly new.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, it's
Can't keep up with all of them.
now that Doc shamed me, it's all right. It's mediocre.
Pours it on his own head. All right. Well, we'll check back. Maybe after 2 or 3 more, Doc, you might.
I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give it a fair shake. You can't learn anything from one beer.
Hey, what do
Oh,
you
you can.
I'm gonna write that down.
What do you do when you have some question marks after someone comes in for some medical testing? You haven't come back for more tests.
Right. So I can build the shit out of them.
Let's get back to the
How are those
escapades.
lawsuits coming?
Well, the problem is I wrote on a big poster and put it on the wall of my office, PhD, and then underneath that, pretty hirsute dingus. And
Why would you advertise that?
I mean, why do I do or say anything that I do or say?
That's valid. Billy races back to his dorm room, where he wakes up his roommate, Lasky,
Lasky. That
Like-
is a classic roommate name.
and hurries him off to class. You have a feeling that's something neither one of these guys has ever done for
Get
each
to
other.
class. Huh?
Not sure where it is.
What? Where am I? He's actually a little more challenged than Billy, if that's possible. Huh? What? Stumbling around in his underpants. He got good storm brewing outside. He tells him it's hog day. But despite the implications of said holiday, he needs his buddy to clean up his shit from the side of the room because Judy's going to be here in 45 minutes to have sex with me. Did I miss something? Did she say anything about that?
No,
I
but
don't
he knows what
remember.
he's there for.
That's
Well,
the
he
power of positive thinking.
Well, you just pop this bottle of champagne and you just drink it.
I didn't see it. Did he set out some of that cheap champagne again?
I was just waiting for the Quagmire
Oh,
Roofie
heck
Colada.
Well, a cute friend of theirs, Rita, shows up. She lives in the dorm
Rita.
as well.
Was I the only one who I mean, she was a skinny girl, but I
Well, she
liked
had like
Rita.
a Taylor Swift kind of thing.
Yeah,
going
just
on.
recognizes who Rita is from, don't you?
Yes.
I recognize her. She was in
If-
Chainsaw 3, Leatherface, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
The ever lovable Tony Hudson.
Yeah.
From another 1985 classic, Just One of the Guys.
Yeah, he asked me if I'd seen that. Years
yeah.
ago, but it's been
Dude, it's a
forever.
William Zabka. It's one of the Zabka classics. A cute chick, not Tony Hudson's her best friend.
Okay.
A cute chick decides that she is taking a high school journalism class. In the briefest synopsis as I can. Her submission to get a summer internship at the newspaper doesn't get selected. She thinks it's because she's a chick, and that if it was a guy writing it, she would have got into it. So she cuts her hair short, tapes her tits down, and goes across town to the rival high school to pretend to be a boy and try to enter the contest from there. And so the lovely Tony Hudson of School Spirit is her best friend who's in on it. Billy Zabka is the school bully at the new school she goes to. And her college-age boyfriend is none other than McCloskey of Hamburger fame.
Oh.
Yeah.
I barely remember the movie.
I need to see this movie.
Oh, yeah.
It's 80s classic.
She was also a staple in 80s television. I mean, multiple episodes.
Matt Houston. She did a bunch of Matt Houstons, I believe.
As well as she was with the ever-lovable A-Team Face for a while.
Oh, she was on the A-Team. She dated Face Man?
Yeah.
He didn't date just anybody.
No.
She's cute.
And by the way, just one of the guys, whenever Zabka's ready to kick somebody's ass, a nerd or whoever, he reaches into the back pocket of his jeans and pulls out some fingerless weightlifting gloves. That's when you know he's about to go kick some ass.
Oh, I like it. Yeah, that might be what I'm missing.
Oh, no. Don't give him any more ideas.
I could go with totally rock some fingerless.
If you have not seen Just One of the Guys, you absolutely should.
I think I saw it back in the 80s.
Yeah, I remember watching it because I vaguely remember the movie, but it's been a long time since I've seen it.
Okay.
I'll have to revisit
it. And
it.
that was Tony Hudson?
Tony Hudson.
Tony Hudson.
She's a little fox.
Heard
And if you see her today, she is...
Yeah.
She's even more gorgeous.
Yeah. How's that possible?
I don't know.
She does not have the Batson curse.
She does not have the Batson curse.
Another little tidbit: the lead actress from Just One of the Guys, Joyce Heiser, didn't go on to do a whole lot, but dated Bruce Springsteen before he was married around 1980 or so.
Really?
Yeah.
Before he married Julia Phillips.
Yes.
Interesting. All right. Well, they talk Rita, or Billy really just instructs her to help him clean up this pigsty. See what I did there?
I did.
Hog Day pigsty.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw it. I heard it. I ignored it.
I'm baking up something special. Oh, bacon?
Oh, boy. I wish somebody would quit being such a ham.
I'm sorry.
The tears won't stop.
In an effort to impress the almighty Judy Hightower. Again, am I wrong in that just the sheer quality of the beautifulness of these chicks in this movie? Most 80s movies have like one hot chick. Every chick who has a speaking role in this thing is just gorgeous.
And let's face it.
And I can't figure out with the number of actors and just
the amount of chicks and nudity. Like, how have we not seen this?
How did this thing fall off the radar?
How is this not on USA Up All Night? Sons of the Nudity. How is this not on HBO? This movie is like getting lucky with a budget.
I have a theory.
That Leprechaun movie we did.
See, I have a theory. And
right?
It's way better than that.
No, I'm saying, but it's like if they had money for actors.
I would have saved this. Do you want me to save my theory to the end, or you kind of really went into it? Because I actually thought of getting lucky. This movie, it looks like they clearly had a budget to hire some actors.
Yeah.
Because as we've mentioned, we've mentioned that Batson's been in some stuff, and
we're gonna mention some
Tony
other people
Hudson, and in fact, even the guy I've already lost his name, but the blazer wearer,
Greg.
I
don't know why I was so pained when Greg!
Ned Siegel, nephew of actor George.
I was going to say related to George.
Didn't do a whole lot, but he was in the movie, the Wynorski mid-'80s movie Chopping Mall. So these weren't like a bunch... It wasn't like one of those movies where you literally never saw them before.
I believe his name was Greg in that movie, too.
It might have been. There wasn't like one of these things where these are probably people that were, if they had the Screen Actors Guild in 1985, these were probably people that you had to pay a little bit to.
Yeah.
My theory, though, was that they ran out of money after that.
So they couldn't actually get it out there in theaters.
Distribution.
It really looked... there's a scene coming up later on.
VHS stores were still fairly new in 85.
But you would think that, in today's age where you can literally all garbage is on the internet, you would think that some distribution would have bought the rights to it.
The thing is, though, and there's a scene that'll be towards the film's ending where I'll mention it. It had the feel to me of a movie that maybe test screened really badly and they kind of went
because of all the raping.
There's some
No, not in the 80s.
Women had
In the 80s, it was still fun
There's
comedy.
some disjointedness to it in terms of its flow. There's kind of some disjointedness.
There is.
So
There
I
is.
wonder almost if like initially there was a bad test screen and they went back in and added some stuff and maybe even made it better in the process.
Yeah,
but at
'cause
that point they moved on. And with 80s stuff, what you say about today is right, but this is why we still occasionally find some things. If it got buried in 84 or 85, it stayed buried.
It got buried, yeah. Yeah, because I would put this definitely in the same vein as Up the Creek, but not as near as good as Up the Creek. Up the Creek had a real good flow and pace to it.
Did.
This
It really did.
This had the right spirit. Didn't quite have just all the little intangibles.
No, you're right. It did have the right. It did have the, no pun intended. It did have the right spirit, but there, I just felt in the middle
just a
phases of it, there
little
was
bit
some
of something
disjointed
there.
aspects of
Yeah.
it.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna withhold something I'm about to say till the end.
It actually received nationwide distribution. It was in a no. Go ahead.
50 million U.S. box office. No, of course not. As class is wrapping up, Greg offers preppy Greg to ask the economics professor about Judy's recommendation to law school. But as soon as the smarmy bastard approaches the teacher, who sees him coming like, he tells Greg, "Fuck off, you insufferable little suck ass." That is Sam Houston State University professor stuff.
That's bad.
And he abandons that plan fast. He goes back, I think it should wait a while. The professor knows. He knows what Greg's
Do you
all
think the producers of PCU stole this guy's look for David Spade's character?
Possibly.
about. Possibly.
Because they're the same. I mean, it's the same.
And
blazer.
all
or
these guys
that-
had a shitty little blazer and
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of the uniform for
It's the
kinda-
uniform of the insufferable asshole.
college dickheads.
It's like how we always have said the lazy filmmaking is you take a cute girl and you want to make her mousy, you just put some glasses on her.
Put some glasses.
In this case, it's like we need to take this guy and make sure that everybody gets across that he is the stuffy,
Blazer and
preppy
tie.
dude.
tan pants, boat shoes, and a blue blazer.
Blazer.
My God, is that LL Bean?
As Greg and Judy walk out of class, he's bad-mouthing Billy pretty hard. He did not like the fact that Billy gave her a ride that morning. He's trying to convince Judy that her new suitor is a slap in the face to everybody who takes their education seriously on campus,
He is.
which he is. Unfortunately for Greg, Billy's walking behind them, and he quickly taps himself on the head, makes him invisible, and he makes Greg's Pepsi explode right into his face. Greg then unwisely
Excuse me,
suggests...
that was an old school
That was an
Mountain
old school-
Dew.
Oh, was it?
It was a Mountain Dew, baby.
I never drank that piss.
Oh, I did. I drank it up.
Me neither. It looked like nuclear
They
waste.
didn't have that on
That's
my college
why
campus.
I loved it.
Yeah, they wouldn't even sell that on my college campus.
At the Poughkeepsie Institute for Technical Science, otherwise known as the Pits, they just had a machine that sold Steel Reserve.
Man, Mountain Dew and a whatchamacallit.
Well,
That's a
Greg...
slice of heaven right there.
I do like whatchamacallit.
Yeah, those are good.
Well, Greg unwisely then suggests that perhaps, hey, the Mountain Dew didn't go so good. I say unwise. I can't stress unwisely enough. Perhaps I'd have better luck with some vending machine chili. I'm sorry, ghost or
Vending
not,
machine
that's a risky
chili?
proposition.
My question is, what kind of vending machine gives you chili?
How could that choice go wrong?
It's bad enough, like in Real Genius, when Val Kilmer's getting the vending machine coffee. Vending machine chili?
Yes.
Well, he gets
How
out
long's that
this-
shit been in there?
Well, it's right next to the vending machine coleslaw.
No, the vending machine yogurt.
He gets out this little container of steaming chili, puts his
I don't know how steamy that shit is.
Puts a spoon. First of all, if you're trying to pick up a chick, I don't know if chili's the right vending machine chili's the right choice. It's never the right choice. But he puts the spoon in it, and Greg or Billy, now invisible, takes the spoon and takes it out of the chili and flips it over this muscle-bound jock guy at the vending machines. Greg, smooth talking, he gets out of a fight with the big guy. He doesn't know what's going on. He's got Mountain Dew in his face. His chili's flying everywhere. Oh, and then Billy unzips Greg's fly, whereas, Judy's like, excuse me? He's like, oh, I didn't notice that. And then he decides he'll have some vending machine yogurt, which that seems risky, too. Any dairy in a vending machine seems like a really thing. And
Who stocks these vending machines?
It was the 80s, man. It was the 80s. It's a different time.
Which
man.
Billy goes on to take the yogurt cup and dump it on top of Billy's head.
So then Greg goes for some vending machine lobster bisque.
Yeah, by this point I'm like, all right, vending machine gag. This is like
Man.
4
Well, I guess if
times.
you're gonna get a
I'm okay. Let's move this along. Let's move this
This
along.
is your guys' problem. There's too many trips to the vending machine.
Next thing you know, he's going to have
Yes.
some lawn chair oysters.
Up the creek didn't have any of these long vending machine sequences.
Up the creek knew to do like 2 or 3 vending machine gags and move forward.
Well, Judy is super stressed out with her Oxford Fellowship application, and picking up the Grand Dame Mrs. Lavatois at the airport with President Grimshaw later. She can't put up with any of this Mountain Dew yogurt chili nonsense. You know what, Greg? You either need to start wearing a bib or get yourself an exorcist, she says.
Yeah.
And right then, in the flesh, Billy reappears, grabs her arm, and there,
Boom.
Poor Judy. She just has a target on her back, man. Everybody wants to
hey,
hit that.
Greg looks... I knew
Have you seen Judy?
I knew I was
Yes.
going to have a bad day when the first face I saw was Billy Batson. They're mortal enemies.
I was just
They
waiting for
are.
him to like twirl his little mustache.
Okay.
or
Which is
something.
weird because we don't see Greg for a long time. I thought
No.
that he was going to be much more...
He cut indigestion from that vending machine chili.
he actually went
He had to go home and puke his brains out for a few hours.
He can puke if he's lucky.
Vending machine yogurt. What the fuck are you talking about, Toto?
But you know what? She's still late, and she's not going to make it over to Grimshaw's in time because Billy Weinstein, pretends that there's car trouble with his engine, and when she comes around, he says, I need your help. He squirts steering fluid all over her blouse so he can see her boobs. But hey, how about we go by my dorm room? There's some chicks there who have some shirts. You can wear one of those. Okay. She wants to go to Oxford, does she?
Well,
Oops.
Well,
What a weasel.
yes.
What a predator.
he's pretty much a predator.
He's a
dude.
predator.
Well, you saw Uncle Pinky. He's got the bats and curse.
He
It's not
does
bats
have
and
the
curse.
bats and
They're,
curse.
they're predators.
It's the bats and curse.
We just can't stop sexually assaulting people.
We just,
Oh, you could stop Uncle Pinky. You just don't.
so, no, really, I just can't.
Guy went to heaven. He's still assaulting chicks. Billy steals a shirt from Rita's closet. Once again, they pull Rita into this mess. And he also runs outside and instructs the street musicians hanging around the... Have some college kids with guitars hanging around the steps. When you see me close my bedroom curtains, you play that hot new song you guys are working on. Sure enough, as soon as he races upstairs and closes the curtains, Billy starts massaging Judy, and the band starts serenading her. The chick's like singing this love song. Guys like playing the bongos. Up the creek didn't have that shit. Just saying.
They didn't need that shit.
But right before Billy
They had a
can,
hot tub.
right before Billy can introduce Judy to William Jr., his penis, cigar chomping Uncle Pinky shows up in a red convertible full of girls, Cade style,
Hey, how you doing, kid?
and ruins the party.
Also, Kate style.
Also Cade style. Well played, Doctor. Pinky is gracious and horny enough to help Judy put on Rita's new blouse himself. Oh, let me button that up for you, darling. And then he'll drag Billy off to heaven. Let me help her with her blouse, and then I'll do my thing.
Well, Uncle Pinky's a gentleman if he's nothing else.
Really? That's still the destination for Billy? Heaven? That's still happening? Well, Billy, he knows Pinky. He introduces Pinky to a little blonde named Sandy, who immediately says, hey, old geezer, let's dance. Uncle Pinky starts dancing, and music just starts playing out of nowhere.
Well, the band came up.
And
The
that's all
band-
the distraction the Pinkster needs. He's going crazy, and Billy escapes once again. I'm seeing a pattern here.
And isn't that when Billy's 6'10" giant friend Barducci comes in
my
with a
God.
six-pack?
This guy is awesome.
He's all, is there a party? He's taking his shirt off.
Hey,
and
man, is there a party?
He kind of looked like our friend Jeremy Lawson. Oh, maybe they were 8 feet
If he
tall.
was 7 feet tall, yeah.
Yeah,
But he wore the shorts of a 3 foot tall
Yeah,
person.
he comes in wearing his 80s shorts and tank top, and he's just at a party. He's got beers to hand
Oh,
out.
jeez. Well, hey, I want to take a quick moment here to talk about Kentucky Fire Cured Sweets, a new cigar featuring Kentucky seed tobacco grown that's fire cured in Hopkinsville, Kentucky, where we're about to go,
Hopkinsville.
along with Nicaraguan fillers. The cigar is wrapped in a Mexican San Andres wrapper with a sweetened tip. The mouthfeel in the cigar is like bacon maple goodness mixed with bourbon and barbecue. You know, my nickname back in my Canada days was
Bourbon and barbecue.
Bacon Maple Goodness. BMG,
I
baby!
thought it was bourbon and barbecue.
BMG!
Here comes the BMG.
No, it wasn't that. They never called me that. But in all seriousness, these cigars are the next evolution of the KFC brand, and you should check them out ASAP.
All right.
All right. Right on.
Right on.
Where we at here, boys? Doctor, you're over the halfway mark. You and Yak
I
Boy.
got about third.
You and Yak Boy's entering the third. Tut, you starting the last third.
Sure.
Same.
Same thing.
Yeah, Phil, it's been very consistent. I haven't had to relight it once.
No, the ash falls. I'm not getting more than an inch ash before it drops on me. You got to be careful with the ash.
Yeah, I've got a little bit of an introduction of leather, but that's really the only flavors that's kind of changing on me. And that leather's on the retro
The
hill.
second half was definitely stronger, and definitely some woodsiness finally to add to that kind of mineralness and the smoothness.
Definitely.
The retro hail has been consistently strong. Do we want to do price point now, or you want to wait? You guys have a decent amount left.
I'll guess.
All right. Tut, you okay with doing price point now?
Yeah, I'll go ahead.
Doctor.
$8.50.
$8.50. Cody.
Yeah, I don't know. Going with the whole whiskey thing, I'm gonna probably say it's $9.50.
$9.50. $8.50.
$11.25.
$11.25. Is that because of the whiskey?
That's because of the whiskey
The extra,
and the process.
the extra process put into it.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go $7.49.
Is that because that's what it is?
That's what it is. $7.49.
All right. Yeah. Okay. That's fine. Yeah.
Diesel has always been, as for most of AJ's stuff, a very affordable
Yeah.
premium cigar.
So when you guess high, you've got to give that a good score on value.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
especially like Tut said, with the extra R&D put into it. Fucking around with the barrels, trying to figure out how that works, and man, I'm not getting any kind of whiskey influence whatsoever in the cigar for all that
Not really.
for all that work that was put into it.
Not
I'm not
really.
really getting that out of it.
I mean, maybe.
I would really be
again-
happy if there was some sort of strong
But then again-
oaky flavor to it, but
I got some oak around the middle point, but I'd get oak in other cigars that aren't aged in bourbon
Yeah.
barrels. But I'll say this too: this beer was aged in
But
bourbon
you know, I mean,
barrels,
this
and I'm
is-
not getting any bourbon in the beer either.
I'm getting
maybe the
I'm getting a
bourbon and
little
bourbon
bit
is
of-
canceling each other out.
Is there such thing as too much bourbon?
No.
I've lived my whole life the antithesis of that statement.
If that's true, I don't want to know it.
If drinking too much bourbon and smoking too much bourbon and a few cigars is wrong, damn it, I don't want to be right, Doctor.
Me neither.
I think 749.
E equals MC. Screw that.
I say 749 is a really good price point, which it is. I mean, a lot of more boring premium cigars out there cost you a lot more.
Oh yeah.
But boy, just with such a backstory. I mean, I talked for like 7-8 minutes about how this fucker was made.
All right. Well, but forget the backstory.
If you just gave it to me,
you just gave it to you. I mean, you're still talking about a nice length of a cigar smoking time on it.
the smoke production alone, visually,
it's a great visual
it is a
cigar.
beautiful smoking cigar.
Yes.
The blue smoke
Yeah.
pouring off of this thing is like it was smoking on its own.
Yeah,
like
now,
a log in the fire.
I'll be honest. I think the flavor's a little bit dipped.
Dipped.
Yeah, it's just not as robust as I would like it. Especially, and which is a shame because, like I said, it's a beautiful cigar. It's a great price point.
It's actually
yeah.
a really enjoyable medium cigar with not a lot of complexity.
Yeah.
And one or two transitions around the midway point. But yeah, you know what? I think maybe this is one of those weird ones where the score might surprise some people because it's actually delivering on
A lot of other things.
a lot of other things. And it's just, I'll be curious to see where the scores come in on this. But yeah, I'm certainly not bored by it, and I've enjoyed smoking it.
No, and it's delivered on what it's given. I mean, it's got that little woodsiness into it. Like I said, I got a little bit of leather on the retro hill coming into the last third of it. there are flavors there. I'd like for it to be a little bit more pronounced, a little bit stronger on those flavors.
That's a good call with the leather on the Retro Hill. It's underneath that red pepper, but it's there.
Yeah.
So you're getting that leather and red pepper on the Retro Hill. You're getting still that mineral and that smoothness mixed in with some kind of a little bit of harsh oak.
And I'm just being ultra critical. I'd like I said, I'd like for those flavors to be a little
You're
bit more
an AJ
pronounced.
guy though. You tend to like AJ.
Oh,
stuff.
absolutely. I think AJ does some fabulous work, regardless of what factory or what brand that he's doing.
I mean, he's got a million different.
God!
Not only his stuff, but he makes his factories where Southern Draw. Excuse me.
Southern Draw, the New World Series, the Diesels. I mean, AJ makes good cigars.
Yeah, I agree.
That's why I rarely, if it's an AJ cigar, I know I'm not going to get any type of construction issues. Very rarely have I found construction issues in AJ's brand. And plus, it's really interesting, just from the factory. I'm a little bit... AJ's doing some interesting stuff in terms of buying out tobacco. So he's kind of like, consolidating a lot of the tobacco farms, which I think is going to be interesting from an economic impact into the cigar industry going forward as we see consolidation from the resources.
Do you have sources for that information, or is this fake news?
It's probably fake news. I'm not revealing my sources. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be kind of like to draw a beer parallel, it's going to be kind of like InBev going out and buying hops and all that kind of stuff. I'll be curious to see how this progresses in a few years. But I'm also amazed at how AJ can build for a lot of different brands, but have a whole lot of different tastes. I mean, there are distinct tastes between New Worlds and Southern Draws and Diesels.
Southern Draw, I mean, Robert's in there doing. He's blending that.
Yeah.
So you're not dealing with AJ's palate. But we did one last year at AJ, which was a more delicate, kind of refined smoke. I think it made our top 10, actually. The name is escaping me now. Wonder why that
Somewhere Skip Martin's going.
But we liked it. And if you go to our top 10 list of last year, you'll get to see what that was.
Again, I just heard Skip Martin crackle from all the way from down in Nicaragua.
He's in Austin, actually. We were going to try
right now, yeah.
Yeah, we were going to try to do a show with him. It just didn't work out. We had to go dove hunting instead. Okay.
Don't mess with the dove hunt, dude.
You can't get in the way of TNC and their shotguns.
When it comes to killing God's precious animals and holding their carcass in my
Tud
head.
on the dove hunting scene. Picked up this little dove. It was still twitching in his hand. He's like,
Choked it to death.
I hate myself.
Oh, no. You have to rip the heads clean off, man.
Young Paul bites their heads off and spits them.
I see Tut like winging them on purpose so he can go kill them with his hands.
No, that's the most horrible thing. That's the most
Tut
horrible
lust.
thing.
My sources spoke to me on conditions of anonymity.
Fake news. That means fake news.
There's only 2 of them that were out there in this room.
It could be anybody.
Well, back to our story. Billy drives Judy to President Grimshaw's, and he's none too happy to see the legendary troublemaker Billy Batson at his residence. You guys want to tell me who President Grimshaw is?
Frank from MASH.
Larry Linville.
Wasn't he the one that always was with Hot Lips?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Major Frank Burns.
I'm going to say something that's incredibly unpopular.
Hot Lips Houlihan.
Hot Lips is not how I...
Oh, no.
You're about to say something that I'm going to agree with because I know what you're going to say and we haven't even talked about it.
Never got MASH.
Me either.
I liked it.
My uncles, when I grew up, it would always be on. They would watch the shit out of that show. Never did anything for me.
Same here.
It was before our time. It was a comedy that had some political undertones when that just wasn't heard of. You're talking about a very, very, as polarized as we are now, back then, conservatism in the broadcast industry, you played it safe. If you got edgy, you were out of there. So that's why it was kind of interesting to look at some of these sitcoms that are just, cornball sitcoms that would brush in,
like All in the Family, and
right? That would
MASH
brush
and
in these political undertones.
It was one of the early
different strokes.
My God, can you imagine
dramedy things where they're
I'm sorry,
taking
but
on serious issues, but they're putting a laugh track to it.
Yeah, but you know what? Honestly, what always kind of set me off on the wrong foot was that opening theme song was so sad.
Well, it was supposed to be. I mean, it was based off
the movie,
Yeah.
Yeah, never did it. For
which
me.
was a really fine
I
movie.
do remember that Lisa Simpson once read Mike Farrell's book, My Core Beliefs.
Oh, really?
And I'm so sad now.
I liked it.
You guys mentioned here, if you're watching this on YouTube, the poster artwork.
It
for
looks like a young
School Spirit. It actually doesn't look like Billy Batson in the face. It actually looks like President Grimshaw as a young man from
as
MASH.
a young man from MASH.
With Billy's hair inserted on him. I'm not sure, and I don't know who that chick is.
Yeah, I don't know
She looks
who
like
that
none of
is.
the chicks in this movie. But it is true to the movie in that
her reaction.
She seems terrified, and he's peeling off her clothes.
It was the 80s. It was a different time.
It was the 80s. It was the 80s, Doctor.
It was. Oh, how I missed them.
Well, Judy swears to President Grimshaw that Billy will be leaving soon.
I don't know about that. As soon as his daughter Ursula starts canoodling with him by the pool in her bikini, he's not going anywhere. Yeah, did I use that term correctly? Canoodling?
You did. You
I-
did use that word.
I appreciate
Absolutely.
Ursula's canoodling.
But Judy says it might be good, to keep Billy around because he can give them valuable intel on the Hog Day activities. We want to keep that under close watch because, Mrs. What's her name?
Grimshaw?
Lavatoire.
L'abattoir.
When she arrives, she's going to find the hogs distasteful for sure. Her visit and the cash endowment that's coming with it is a big fucking deal.
Oh, this is old money. This is like
Did
the
you
family
recognize
that.
Ursula?
No.
Only you would.
Taxi.
No, I said only Cade would.
Ursula, no.
It took me a while. She was in Friday the 13th Part 2.
Oh my God, I do recognize her.
She's her boyfriend's like a long-haired blonde guy that wears a little hat. She's got kind of.
I don't. I just
I'm
lied
going to
there.
admit my knowledge of I've seen 3 through all of them a million times. I watched part 2 last Halloween for the first time, and I really enjoyed it. And I couldn't believe I was like, man, this is really good. But I wouldn't have picked
Okay,
that
there's
up.
a lot of people in 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's one of the counselors.
Is that the only thing? Because she had a face that I thought I recognized
It's
too.
the only thing I remembered her from.
I might have recognized her from Friday
It's
too,
interesting
but not
that
really.
you were looking at her face.
Well, she had a lot of other canoodles that were very nice.
Well, Grimshaw reassures Judy, they go inside and they're talking, that the Oxford Fellowship is well within your grasp due to the fine points you've made, as her nipples are staring him right in the face.
I love this scene because he soft sells this.
Oh, he does. His eyes just
very
drift up to the nipples, right? You've made fine points, Judy.
And it's like for the first couple of the times that he does it, it's just real quick hit glance.
It's good acting.
And then at the end, he focuses a little bit longer. It was great acting.
Well, she's wearing Rita's blouse, which Rita's a good 2 sizes smaller than Judy.
And that's how hot Judy is. In less than 24 hours, Batson has attempted to date rape her. Greg has put his smarmy charms on,
Yeah.
and now the president of the college is basically
saying nice tits.
Yeah.
And I just realized how weird it
Well, I guess
is that this entire scene, I'm like, Frank, that's some great acting, man. That's some great acting.
Well, I guess according to this movie's logic, this old horny bastard's in line to go to heaven, right?
Yes.
Yes.
He's going to make
No.
it there.
The bar
No.
has been set so low by Uncle Pinky.
No, because he's not letting the kids have fun.
You think heaven's about partying?
If you can't let the kids have fun, I mean, come on.
Jesus did turn water into wine.
Think about it. Uncle Pinky, heaven. Billy Batson, heaven. Grimshaw,
Doctor's right. I drink a shitload of wine. I'm going to heaven.
Jesus turned up at a wedding, saw people drinking water. He's like, "What's this shit?" Turned it into wine. That part that isn't in the scripture. But
I was like,
I mean,
I was like, man, I got to reread that.
Read
I'm
this,
not exactly sure that's how that happened.
I'm going to look that up.
he did turn water into wine.
He did.
He didn't say, "What's this shit?" But I mean,
I have heard that before. I don't know what vintage it was, but I'm assuming it was
Israel, 002 BC.
Outside, Ursula, Grimshaw's
Ursula.
daughter, is riding on top of Billy's shoulders, picking some primo weed from her garden by the
Yeah.
pool.
She lets it spill that her uncle, Grimshaw's brother, Uncle Chuck Leebody, is giving her daddy $1 million kickback from the construction of the new facility that this endowment is going to be funding. It's a nice little kickback. Just then, Ursula's drunken stepmother shows up and crashes her car into the house, which apparently happens every day.
They should have...
Cade style. Which brings President Grimshaw racing outside. Anybody recognize the slosh stepmom?
No.
We featured her on the podcast before.
Really?
This is a Corman film, after all. She was Matilda the Hun from Death Race 2000, the original.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Gotcha.
I wish they would have actually, incorporated her a little bit more. She was a fun character.
Everybody,
exactly, man.
Everybody in this showed up drunk from grocery shopping.
Exactly.
Everybody in this has some sort of cult classic, and it just occurred to me. Batson's buddy Barducci was also in another film that I love, Midnight Madness.
I'm not sure I saw that.
He was in a scavenger hunt movie. Had a Naughton from American Werewolf fame,
Yeah, David Naughton.
and then a young Michael J. Fox.
Yeah, I don't think I ever thought.
That was a great
Check
one.
out Midnight Madness.
The original, the Death Race, the David Carradine 70s one?
She was Matilda the Hun, one of the original racers.
Okay.
We did a double feature on the podcast. That was a fun show of that one, and then they redid it last year,
Death Race 2020.
2020, and that was actually a pretty fun flick too.
With Mr. Manu.
Well, Grimshaw tells Billy as Ursula slides off his shoulders that he's on to Mr. Hogmeister. That's Billy's official title on campus.
He is the Hogmeister.
He is the Hogmeister. He is the ultimate hog, party animal. And he wants him to stay the hell away from his young daughter. He doesn't let his daughter leave the house for shit.
Well, first of all, kick his ass out of your house.
I love
He's
it.
so accepting of all these students.
You talked about the Grimshaw's comic timing.
Yeah.
There's a funny scene in here. I didn't make a note of it, but it was hilarious. Drunk stepmom shows up with a bag of groceries, gives it to Ursula.
Yeah.
Ursula's like, I'm going inside and getting a drink. She hands it to Grimshaw. Grimshaw looks at it. He hands it to Billy. Billy's standing there holding this thing of groceries by the pool, and then Grimshaw goes back and takes it from Billy. Like, I don't know why I gave you the groceries. It was just a little funny.
I like that stuff, and
You're not going to get that with Getting Lucky actors.
I think that was something.
And for our listeners, Getting Lucky is a really bad trauma. St. Patty's Day, leprechaun trapped in a beer bottle movie that we did.
Exeter Flexeter.
But if you want to watch a movie where a guy hangs on to the largest pubes you've ever seen, Getting Lucky,
or listen to our podcast of Getting Lucky.
I would actually listen to our podcast rather than watch it because we're way more entertaining.
Fee-fi-fo flash. How I'd like to be in Miss Hightower's ass.
Oh God, we don't. Lucky's back.
Lepke. All right, that'll be your only Lepke of the evening. Maybe.
Well, Billy sends Judy and Grimshaw on their way to pick up the money at the airport. Mrs. Lavoie from the airport.
Mrs.
And then he tries to leave, but not before Ursula tries to sneak a ride in his stolen convertible, which the police still aren't looking for. He's had it forever. She pleads with him.
Not to mention, she pops up. Her dad is not even out of the driveway yet.
He's staring at those fine tips of.
No, that's true. It's got
Judy.
nice endowments.
But I kept waiting for somebody to make an endowment joke, but no. Well, she pleads with Billy. Ursula does that she'd make a great hoggette. That's the female party animals at the school. But even he has limits. He says, "No, I can't do that."
That makes no sense. His entire character is the opposite of this, and now he's like, all of a sudden, you know what? Someday your time is going to come.
Well, I think
someday I will rape you, but that day is not today.
That is at least 2 weeks in the future.
I'll find you when
all of a
it's
sudden,
not convenient for you.
He is the model of restraint.
The whole thing where you're willing is a real turn off for
I'm not real
me.
comfortable with you coming on to me.
You're giving yourself to me?
Ursula, I just want to be very straight about this. I can only get an erection if you're terrified.
Billy Batson's so dark. Well,
I need your disdain.
Grimshaw and Judy show up at the airport to pick up Mrs. Lavoie, or as Grimshaw calls her, because he's never seen her, the old onion. Let's just wait here for the old onion. That's a good line. What an asshole, though, right?
Very much so. Played by Major Frank Burns.
And to their surprise, she's actually a very attractive MILF.
Yes, she is.
Yes, she is.
Madeline Eloise Lavatoire. Hubba hubba. She's gorgeous. Like the other girls are hot, like from an American. This chick is just...
She's a
Do you think
classically
it's-
European beauty.
Do you think it's just the accent?
No, it's her face. She's just gorgeous.
She is.
Where'd they find these braves?
I don't know. This movie is so weird. How did it not get more?
Well, across town at the
I
sorority
think
house...
there was a time in the 80s where like foreign chicks kind of took center stage for a while. Because you got this, you got the Better Off Dead chick, the little French girl from that.
Same year, 85, you got Porky's Revenge with the
Right.
Inga, the exchange student.
Oh, man, Inga.
Fast forward a little bit, there was
she
a
was
David.
just a playmate from like Philadelphia.
Doesn't really matter.
There was
Little
a
accent.
fast forward a little bit. There was a David Spade, one of his first solo movies,
Oh, but that was...
where it was like a French cellist.
That was a...
the dog movie?
Yeah,
No, that-
yeah.
what?
But
not
that
the
chick,
80s.
but that
She
chick
was a
was
Bond.
hot.
She
That's
was
what I
the evil
said.
Bond
Fast
girl.
forward.
Tyler, don't
So,
take that goddamn
Sophie,
toe at me, damn it. Get your decades fucked up. That's your problem, shithead.
Maybe I shouldn't have watched that many David Spade solo movies, but I did it.
I shouldn't have watched it, but I did it.
They didn't have Farley in it. I should have known better, but I watched them.
Come on, I had one of the best Neil Diamond impersonations ever.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I'll give it that.
That man knows what I'm talking about.
Well,
In that movie?
Yeah.
No, I never saw it.
I'm gonna draw a penis, Tyler. That's what I'm gonna do. It's about that time of day.
Well, the Old Onion is, in fact, a beautiful peach.
Indeed.
Across town at the sorority house, Uncle Pinky is looking for Billy. And after evading the old biddy Mrs. Kingman as he's snooping around the sorority, he finds a poor college girl sleeping in her dorm room.
Question: did Billy indicate that he would be at the sorority house, or is that just where Pinky showed up?
That's just
That's
where
just his
Pinky...
first spot. He just went there, and maybe Billy.
He's a Batson.
Huh.
There's a 50-50 shot he'll
He's
be here.
he's an investigator. He knows where his prey is going to show up.
Maybe his psychic...
Speaking of prey,
He's a detective because he wears a fedora. That's about how far that
well,
goes.
he's kind of
Well, he's got a cigar,
Columbo-esque.
so did Columbo.
Exactly. Tell me once again, what
right.
are you doing, ma'am?
Can we hurry and get through this scene? Because it
It's
made even a
creepy.
guy like me really
Oh,
uncomfortable.
God.
So he looks in the bedroom door and he sees this blonde chick
That says a
sleeping.
lot.
It really does.
A sleeping princess, he mutters. Fantastic. His and of course he taps his head to make him invisible. His invisible creepy ass sneaks into a room and starts undressing her. And this is what he says as
This
he does
is
it.
so creepy.
Let Dr. Pinky take a little look-see. Oh yeah, the prognosis looks very good. Let's check out some of your other parts. Oh yeah, this looks most interesting. I'm in heaven.
It's horrible. How are you in heaven?
And he basically strips off all her clothes and drools on her while she lays there unconscious. Real quick, doctor, could you discern if the prognosis indeed looked very good, or was...
The prognosis looked pretty fantastic to me.
So he and Billy are definitely going to hell now, right?
Yes!
Doc,
Clearly!
don't take this the wrong way, but when I'm watching this scene, I'm just picturing you.
Well, one needs to make a thorough investigation of the goods.
I'm just like, and now I know what Doc's ghost
And I'm
is
sorry,
gonna be
anybody
like.
who has a problem with the Betty Childs rape scene in Revenge of the Nerds, stay the fuck away from this movie.
No shit.
Maybe this is why this thing has not been released.
Oh my god.
Well, they could cut this out. I mean, it's not.
Well, Pinky's ghost boss shows up. Thank
I don't-
God. He probably saves this girl from...
No, he
Ghost
doesn't.
rape?
Clearly,
Ghost
he like
rape.
stops that, but then Pinky leaves.
No. He tells Pinky, you got one more chance. Go find Billy. And he just saw what...
I think that your chances are done. You're going.
And then you
I
see
guess this is
and
the
then you see
Catholic
the
afterlife.
Head, then you see the head angel. Pinky leaves, and what does he do? He goes in the room.
We are really big on forgiveness.
Well, there weren't any altar boys, so.
School Spirit 2.
School Spirit 2, the altar. Catholic School
The
Spirit.
Notre Dame. It's a horrible scene.
It really kind of is, man.
And I'm sorry, we joke a lot about how gorgeous these chicks are and like, hey, boobs. When Uncle Pinky was showing me those
That
boobs,
kind of crossed the line. Man. They really did.
I was checking out, man. That was weird.
Maybe that is one of the reasons. Maybe they watch that, they're like, "Oh God, you've gone too far."
Yeah, but they could have cut that. I mean, they could easily just trim that out of the movie.
Yeah, but then
you haven't lost anything.
Well, they lost another pair of boobs in the movie.
Oh, there's plenty more.
Yeah.
We meet up with President Grimshaw and Judy as they give the lovely Mrs. Lavatoire a tour of the campus. Despite the horny advances of Grimshaw to come back to his house for a shower and rest before the big endowment ceremony that night, she wants to observe some of the students who are actually going to benefit from her donation. Makes sense.
Exactly.
Grimshaw first introduces her to very offensively to some Indian students.
Holy crap, man. You study good.
Study good.
We very proud.
These two Indian
It was funny back in the 80s,
These
though,
two
man.
Indian dudes are like,
Oh, it's funny now.
It's like Takashi or Long Duck Dong. It's just you can't get away with that now.
No, it's actually you could get away with this scene because the Indians aren't offensive. The Indians are in business suits, and when after Grimshaw gets done, they're like, "Excuse me, what the hell was he saying?" I mean, they speak with British accents.
it was ridiculous. But then Grimshaw's attention is diverted to a catering truck which just pulled in, bringing in food for the big Hog Day celebration. Grimshaw sees Billy Batson, and Billy sees the smoking hot Mrs. Lavatoire.
Oh, yeah.
But before he's caught, Grimshaw's trying to get Billy the hell off campus to not screw anything up. Billy taps his head, disappears, and when Grimshaw sticks his head in the catering van to find him, he dumps a pie on top of his head.
Classic.
You can't go wrong with a pie in there.
Doesn't Barducci show up again?
Yes,
Another
Barducci
pair
shows
of
up.
track on
I'm
row
sorry,
shorts?
man. Barducci.
This movie needed more Barducci.
It absolutely did, because for some reason, man, this guy did it for me. He chews up screen time, man.
Well, he's 8 feet tall. He takes up the entire screen.
Exactly.
Literally.
We need more film. He's huge.
You were talking about he wore the shorts of a 3 foot. No, he wore regular shorts. He's just 8 feet fucking tall, man.
Well, I'll tell you what. The pie on top of Grimshaw, Billy running around crazy. Mrs. Lavatoire is digging all these American shenanigans. She's having fun.
American shenanigans.
She's liking it.
Nobody can shenanigan like Americans.
So much so, nobody shenanigans like American shenanigans. That's right, Tut. So much so that when she's brought back to the Grimshaw residence, because for some reason she's a millionaire, but she's sleeping in Ursula's bedroom.
Yeah.
Did you just say Gimpshaw?
Grimshaw.
Might as well.
Okay.
That's a silly question, Miss Grimshaw.
That's a silly question, Miss Grimshaw. She has nothing but questions about who are these hogs and these party animals, and who's this Billy Batson? Ursula's like, if you want to learn about what's going on around here, sneak out with me tonight. See what yourself for the American college party scene, what it's really all about.
Does anybody else like how
Party time, boys.
Batson
Party
has
time.
basically devoted the last 12 hours of his life and afterlife to trying to get into Judy Hightower's pants? As soon as he sets eyes on Miss Lavatoire, how the hell with Judy? Time to redirect my energies.
That's love, man. That's love.
Bear me, boys.
Another beer for the doctor as well? Boy, I think...
Told you I was going to give it the college try.
At least 6 before you can move on. They quickly find Billy and convince him to take both Ursula and her cousin Nina from Montreal. That's who they say, Mrs. Lavatoire. They're not going to let Billy know she's the $1 million...
The money bags.
The money bags. Ursula says that it's her cousin Nina from Montreal, and could you take us on a cruiser on campus? So they do that, but the ride is cut short when the cops finally pull over Billy for the stolen car. Well, when Grimshaw...
And the kidnapped teenager.
And the kidnapped teenager, yeah, that's true.
It was the 80s.
Half naked.
It was the 80s.
Half naked kidnapped teenager.
It was totally the 80s.
Well, when President Grimshaw comes down to the station house to get the girls out of jail, Mrs. Lavatoire ends up stealing the guard's keys and sneaks Billy out of his cell while Ursula distracts everybody.
Was that cowboy in there, anybody?
Oh, I don't know.
Yes. Yes, it was.
He looked very familiar, man.
There was
that
a cowboy-
that voice sounded familiar.
There was a
What?
cowboy
Y'all-
singing...
This one y'all don't get?
I don't. I knew him from somewhere, but I
Inside
couldn't.
the jail cell, they allowed a cowboy with his guitar
And he's playing
to play a song.
And he's like, "Well, what about your lawyer?"
This one was... My lawyer's in here with
I
me.
thought it was like Don Williams or somebody. But
Johnny Lee.
Johnny Lee.
Never heard of him.
I just lost a whole bunch of country cred.
I'm just gonna lay down over here and die right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Maybe I can come back as
Well,
Billy
they do ask
Batson.
him at one point, the country guy, how long you been in here? Since Moby Dick was a minnow.
I'll. Any of my country fans that come up and be like, "Tut, come on, I'll take it." You should recognize Johnny Lee.
Well, she, Miss Lavatois, she breaks Billy out. She steals the keys and gets him out. And then Billy turns invisible. Woo! And grabs Grimshaw's car keys and steals his car to take her out.
His second Grand Theft Auto.
Second Grand Theft Auto.
The one thing
he's
I
a ghost. What does he care?
Well, the only
So
thing I
he's
can't
still
figure out
going to
here
heaven, right?
I'm still going to heaven, though.
The only
Two
thing
Grand
I can't
Theft
figure out
larcenies on
is
the-
that the undead here, they can turn themselves invisible, but they can't pass through anything.
Yeah, it's true.
Why could he not just and go out the jail
I think
cell?
that would have been special effects that they didn't have budgeted for.
I'm still kind of conflicted about this whole "thou shalt not steal 2 grand larcenies."
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't say anything about attempted rape.
That's true.
So far, I haven't been successful.
That's true.
It did say something about "do not covet."
Well,
But he didn't covet thy neighbor's wife. I guess that was good.
Yeah, he never tried to screw Rita.
This is true.
That's in the director's cut.
Well, he and his mature lady friend are out of there. She drives him back to the dorm, and they make out some.
Yeah.
God, she's sexy. And any other movie, I'd be like, you know what? She's classy, and she's a little bit older, and she's so beautiful. I bet she's not going to get naked in this thing. But with School Spirit,
You can't tell.
I can't tell. I'm holding. I got hope. Will it happen? Stay tuned, folks. Stay tuned.
Trying to do some math over here, asshole. Shut up.
That night, as the Grimshaws and Mrs. Lavatois, which is it? I guess it's Miss Lavatois.
It is Miss Lavatois.
It's Miss Lavatois. I keep saying Mrs. Obviously, either that or she's a whore
Filthy.
making out with Billy. I'm
Filthy.
gonna go Miss Lavatois.
Hey, what happens in another country stays in another country.
Is that true?
It's technically it's Canada. That's
Man, no, she came over from Paris.
I thought she was.
she's Paris.
She's Paris.
I thought she was from Paris, but later he calls her Canadian.
Because he thinks she's from Montreal. That's what Ursula told her. It's her cousin Nina from Montreal. She actually flew over from Paris.
I got you.
Come on, guys, catch up.
All right.
Well, that night the Grimshaws and Miss Lavatois head off to the big endowment party, and Ursula sneaks out to another party. It's hog party time, fellas.
Hog party time, man.
But she doesn't just sneak out. Oh no! As she goes outside her house, and she hasn't hitchhiked for 1 second,
First, there's a great scene of her in her panties pulling a little skirt on.
a black A-Team van pulls up and grabs her and pulls her in.
And now we
That's-
have abduction and
That's
kidnapping.
called abduction.
It's called kidnapping, but not when it's driven by the one and only party band, the Gleaming Spears.
Gleaming Spires.
Spires.
Next.
All night.
These guys are on their way. They're going to be our musical guides through every party. Who are the Gleaming Spires?
The Gleaming Spires was a fantastic band. They ran and had basically a good run. They went from 81 to 85.
Which
And
would
they had
be
some-
four of the greatest years ever.
They had some notoriety within the LA
some
music
pretty sweet,
scene,
yeah, sweet-ass
radio
years.
play, all that. But besides being showcased
Did you
in
say
this
some
film,
notoriety in the LA radio scene?
music scene.
It sounds like something. The festival success?
Actually,
but you
no.
could have.
There is. There
No.
No,
It just sounds like.
I know you're right.
It sounds like something.
But
And the reason I say the LA music scene is because outside of that, they didn't get much. They got
Yeah,
no
I mean,
play.
you could have a great.
But there were some
career in your little markets.
very interesting bands from that time period that were very popular in L.A., but not outside of there. One from the Valley Girl soundtrack, the Plimsouls.
Hard to see why they didn't break out. The Plimp
The
Souls?
Plimsouls, P-L-I-M Souls.
That's terrible.
Million Miles Away, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
The punk band X.
Yeah, of course.
So they had a big following in L.A., but yeah, that's actually, I know what you mean, it's the way it sounds, the Cleveland Underground Film Festival.
It's like, oh, you made a movie, did you, Kate? Well, we've had some underground film success.
I stole that
festival
from Your
success.
Next when they're at the table. It's like the Cleveland Underground Film Festival. Who is it? Is it Swanberg? That's the actor.
Yes.
And he's like, oh, he's being total dicks. Oh, so it's like, is that the festival's like underground?
Yes, Morlocks are in attendance. Chuds actually come and attend my film festival.
Damn chuds.
But what we know them, of course, from
All the of course, Revenge of the Nerds.
Are you ready for the Sex Girls?
Are you ready for the Sex
Up
Girls?
All Night.
All Night Party?
All Night Party. They are the music that you remember from Revenge of the Nerds. But I gotta be honest, from now on, I'm remembering them.
Man, did they come through with
They
some
came through with
kick-ass
some really
songs.
good. Yeah, there was some really good songs.
And this shit is made for this movie. They compose shit for this movie, and I've been listening to it all day, and I'm like, that's one of the things I hate about our show. We don't want to get caught in a YouTube copyright thing. Like we can't just play Gleaming Spires all night, or I would.
Oh man, I would actually like to run the movie that we watch on the TV while we're discussing.
But I can do a little bit.
We got like I had to fight for that Romacraft episode when we had Glengarry and
On
Ross
silent.
in the background.
It was on
It
silent.
wasn't even. Yeah, it was just in the background, and they're like, "No, you got to
YouTube's
pull
like,
that."
yeah.
I was like, "Have you watched it? It's like a 2 pixels in the background.
And
Come
we're
on."
talking, we're reviewing, we're critical analysis guys.
Yeah, Google finally let us go through. Man, Google hates us.
They do. They do. But yeah, they really come through on this. Doctor, the main song.
All we need is the chorus line, guys. Here comes Mr. Funhog. Oh, woo. Oh, no. Here comes Mr. Funhog. Oh, woo. Oh, no.
The next line, he's having fun from his snout to his toes.
He's having fun from his snout to his toes. Here comes Mr. Funhog.
Whenever there's fun, he's always around. Now come on, baby, bring us another round. They rhymed round with round.
It just...
I only know this because I've been listening to that fucking song all day long.
Nonstop.
It is...
It's contagious.
It's a great song.
It's infectious.
It is...
It might be the greatest song in rock and roll history.
Why, my
I will
God.
say that there might
My
have been
God, it could have been written by Bill Shakespeare himself.
there might have been a lot of things suspect with the 80s, but man, we danced our asses off.
With music like that, how could you not?
Exactly.
Dancing all over my house
Cade and
today.
I would
Let's
really
get
like
the-
to have a Fritz Beer cover of Mr. Funhog.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
That'd be really nice. There's no practical use for it, and it would probably take him a lot of time and effort, but I just love that.
I couldn't even find the lyrics.
Mr. Fritz, I will donate a cigar if you do.
Somewhere 1,000 miles away, a middle finger is being raised in Tut's direction.
Actually, once he hears it, he's going to be like, oh, yeah. Oh, yes.
Oh, I'm going to send him Mr. Funhog, and we'll see.
He's pulling out those lyric sheets.
By the way, guys,
Been saving these for
by
a
the way,
rainy
guys,
day.
Before we get to the party tonight, once again, like last episode, it's a little bit different music. We're listening to the Bishops Double Live CD, available right now on fritzbeermusic.com. $12. You get shipped a double CD, 31 fucking songs in one night, 2 sets, 2 drummers.
And you got to check this out. It's nice punk influence. It's
his early
cool,
stuff.
man.
It's Fritz's very first band reunited for a special night. You also get a digital download for all you millennials who dig that kind of stuff.
What I like about it is that it's punk enough to appease you guys who do like punk. I'm kind of like, I like the image of punk. I like what punk was trying to do. But when it comes to the actual music, I'm just kind of like, not my thing. But I really like when Fritz does.
There's a whole...
Fritz
there's a-
brings an American rock sound
Yeah,
to his punk.
Yeah.
And there's a whole... There's different layers to punk. There's the bad kind, like we're talking about the Sex Pistols, and then there's... We heard some songs earlier that we could definitely hear like a Clash influence. So... There's like anything else. There's good and bad punk.
Yeah.
What you hear here is the really good stuff.
It's the good stuff. So go to fritzbeermusic.com, buy the CD. You will not regret it.
Yeah, Fritz!
Well, the next thing you know,
Mr. Funhog.
the Gleaming Spires are at a campus party, rocking it out on stage. To
And I'm pretty
Here
sure
Comes
they
Mr.
molested
Funhog.
Ursula in the van.
You can't prove that.
I can't.
But she's
prove
up on
that.
stage.
The Spires are saints.
She's up on
They're saints.
stage just cutting a rug.
Oh,
she
she
has
is
become the
going
band
down.
mascot.
She is their official. She's a member of the band now.
She's now a groupie.
She's tapping the drummer's
It's
hand.
called a groupie.
I get a feeling they would probably be really annoyed by her, actually.
Yeah.
Well,
Why did we grab this one?
Well, if someone's going to be running around the stage, she want her wearing that bikini and...
I was about to say the drummer's called dibs. The rest of the band is putting up with her.
She had a pretty
she
short
is
tank top.
gyrating all over that
She-
stage.
Just
Tut style.
Bouncing to and fro.
There's also
I do gyrate all
next
over
to
that
the
stage. Thank you.
next to where the spires are playing. There's a wet slip and slide they've set up
Heck yes.
with chicks zipping down it. Drinks are flowing.
It's baby oil, baby.
There's a dude in a hog superhero costume dancing around. It's just every conceivable level of awesome.
Barducci's dancing with two chicks.
Oh, Barducci's everywhere dancing.
She's
around.
awesome.
Oh snap! Wait, the dude in the hog costume is none other than Billy Batson.
He's the
He's
hog
Mr.
master.
Fun Hog.
That's the Hogmeister costume. He is Mr. Fun Hog. You're right, Doctor. He took a break from date raping chicks to party it up a little bit. Hogs and he grabs the mic. Hogs and hogsettes, are you ready for the election of the new Hogmeister? Oh, they're ready. They're cheering their asses off. Especially because he's been it for 12 years now.
Well,
Yeah, they had to start chanting 4 more years, but he's
Exactly.
already been there 14 years.
They love this guy, man. They're
Yeah.
4 more years. 4 more years.
not the chicks.
Yeah, the
The
chicks are like,
Hogettes are done with Batson.
Lock him up for 4 years.
lock him up. Lock him up.
Yeah. This is prior to Me Too.
No, it was 80s. They were all cool with it, allegedly.
It wasn't hashtag Me Too. It was Me Too exclamation point. Me Too! Billy felt me up too when I was drunk and passed out.
My self-esteem is so great.
Yeah, just tease my bang some more. It'll be fine.
It was the 80s.
It was the 80s. It was the 80s. So
I don't know what
then-
they keep talking about, this ozone.
Well, it is time to elect, sadly, a new Mr. Fun Hog, a new Hogmeister. So then a series of scantily dressed, this is the first time I've ever said this on the show, dudes, contestants start to strut their stuff out on stage.
Including Barducci.
Yes.
My vote was for
Barducci.
Come on, how do you
man.
not vote for that guy?
Exactly.
Although there was another guy, Dick Varsucci. Did you see him?
No,
He had some nice stuff going on. Edit that out. I don't want that to be in there.
Too late.
But you know what? I'm sure whoever they elect Mr. Hogmeister, the Russians will fucking interfere and they'll fuck up that election too.
Come on, Russians, man. Why can't you throw your weight behind Barducci? Come on.
Putin's all. It shall be Barducci.
Yeah, exactly. Putin's been. I want to party with this.
Wait
guy.
a minute. I could have swore everyone was Barducci, but Dick Varsucci wins. How's that possible?
Damn you, Putin!
Comrade Varsucci is in place.
There's no email, so they released a bunch of inflammatory Valentine's Day cards that Barducci had written in elementary school, and that just turned the whole tide.
But
He wrote them on official school stationery.
Damn you, viral direct mail campaign!
My question is, seriously, this is how Billy is spending his final hours on Earth, judging dudes dancing around the stage? What an idiot.
He's got his priorities, man. He's got to
He's got-
pass
that's
on
why-
the torch.
he's got-
That's
fulfill-
why he has
He's-
been Hogmeister
Yes,
for 14
he's
years.
got till midnight, but he's not going to let down the hogs and the
I
hogettes, man.
could go to
That's why this guy
I could
is
go to a
the
steakhouse
Hogmeister.
and get one last big steak dinner. I could try really hard to get in Mrs. Lavatoire's panties. No, I am the Hogmeister. I have to pass the torch.
He's still putting time aside for Lavatoire.
I'd say, you know what? The guy really has a solid core. If it weren't for all the date raping,
We just call it persistence. back
he's
then.
a really stand-up guy. It wasn't always getting chicks drunk and taking advantage of. I'm sorry, he's just a terrible hero.
But for the grace of God, there go many of us.
Revenge of the Nerds. Revenge of the Nerds. You like Gilbert. You like Lewis. You like Booger. Even Booger wasn't feeling chicks up when they're passed
Come
out.
on, Mama, show me the muff. He wasn't just grabbing the muff.
He was saying, show it to me.
He wasn't just grabbing.
He
No, they-
asked permission.
Though they did put
You
up
moves me
surveillance
really know
cameras.
how to party.
They did put up surveillance cameras.
Shut
in the
up,
pies.
Tud. Shut up. Get out of here. Get out of here.
Which makes no sense considering that they were these giant periscope things they stick down in the.
Curtis,
All right.
Curtis is playing hard to get with me, so I'm not showing him any love.
And, you know, and Booger refused to come on our show, so Tud's got a big grudge against him now.
That's right.
Well, listen.
I
here's
still
the-
love you, Curtis.
Here's the funny
I'm sorry, I
thing.
still love you.
Next door to the hog party is the endowment party. They're literally right next door to each other.
The endowment party? Oh, wait, no.
President Grimshaw instructs Preppy Greg to go tell those party animals next door to party quieter.
This guy has no power.
Well, first of all, remember Greg? He disappeared. They had that vending machine scene, and I thought he'd be a thorn in their side. Nope.
Nope.
He disappeared the whole movie.
Another example of a little disjointedness.
More Greg would have made the flow a little bit better.
Yeah.
I thought he'd be a much bigger adversary.
Bartucci.
Well,
Loaded up on Bartucci. This film would have been
I would have taken more Dick Barsucci. You guys aren't giving him any love.
Yeah, you definitely
He's
would take
strutting
more
his stuff
dick.
on that stage just as good as Barducci. Well, what are the odds of two guys in a contest, Barsucci and Barducci?
Written by Tommy Narducci.
I was about to say they put
How
all
many
their
Ducci's do you...
they put all their money into the actors, not the writers.
How many Ducci's do you date rapists need?
Yax, will you pass this Ducci to the right-hand side?
Kate is Mr. Funhog. Oh yeah. Oh no.
We may not be able to use the spires, but we got the doctor's smooth, dulcet tones.
I wish I knew more of dedication. That was a rock.
It's just dedication over and over.
Dedication. Dedication. Dedication.
Well, great. Bringing in some of his chops. It's a party now, boys. Well, Greg goes across the quad. Is that right?
It is correct.
It is
quad.
a quad. Okay. And jumps on the
Which at
stage.
A&M you're not allowed to step on, by the way.
Absolutely
to
not.
do it. He jumps on stage. He grabs the microphone from Batson and explains to the rowdy crowd, "You don't necessarily have to make a lot of noise to have fun. Considering the importance of the event happening next door, you can imagine how that's going to affect that." Well, they throw his nerd ass down that slip and slide real fast.
And he undergoes an immediate transformation.
That slide is like transformation
He goes
personified.
at the top of that slide, fucking nerd dick. Bottom of that slide,
He's a hog.
He's
He's
a
a
hog,
fun
man.
hog now.
It doesn't
Right
really
on.
make any sense because that slide is like 10 feet long. It literally is the shortest
Wet
thing.
chicks in bikinis start jumping in his lap.
well, hey, the minute he's down there, the Gleaming Spires start another set. He ain't going anywhere.
And there was some good
Big
acting.
booby
The
co-eds
slow-
start playfully messing up his hair.
He slowly starts to smile and like, oh yeah, it's total.
Yeah, guess what?
Yeah.
All of a sudden he's loving it. No shit. You got naked chicks messing with your hair. It's funny.
Uh-huh.
It's funny how
No,
that
'cause
happens.
nobody likes that. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, why don't you loosen that tie up a little bit?
Oh, his tie's gone.
Dedication!
Well, Rita and Lasky, remember them? They find their way over to Billy. He's drinking some.
No, they were also edited out for 30 minutes.
Well, that's true. They disappeared for quite some time as best friends, and he's over at the Punch Bowl, and he finally tries to explain to them that he's dead. Oh, dead tired? No. Dead drunk? No. I'm like really fucking dead.
It's so hard to know because you're very corporeal.
But they're not
and-
buying it, and the Spires are playing, so they're like, "Fuck this! Let's just go dance and get away from his dead ass."
We danced our asses off.
All of a sudden, Uncle Pinky dances his way over to Billy in a conga line. First of all, why are these old chicks dancing with Uncle Pinky in the first
Because
place?
that's how cool Uncle Pinky is.
Dude,
He's having a fucking
he's a
blast.
Batson.
He is a Batson.
He's got
But
that.
dude, this is
it's
how much.
not the Batson curse. It's the Batson blessing.
Hey, he's having so much fun. He's got a deadline to get Billy to heaven. He doesn't stop that conga line. He doesn't say shit to Billy except he just keeps going. Like, oh, I guess he's just gonna let this go. He's partying.
You know what?
TCC
I
style?
could- if I don't get you to heaven-
you've got X amount of time to get this shit done.
You know what? Here's the thing. If
Here comes
I don't,
Mr. Fun
they didn't
Hog.
explain it to you, but it's up to me to get you through the door to heaven. But you know what? I'm gonna keep partying. You're going straight to hell.
Here comes. You're gonna be singing that Fun Hog song as you go down to the brimstone and fire.
You don't seem very dedicated to your job. Dedication! Dedication!
Sorry, Billy. I did my best. Your best was horrible. You did nothing.
I'm a Batson. That sounds like something my family was like, where were you for me? I really needed you in this moment. I'm a
Cade.
Cade. You're a Cade too. That's why you're going to hell.
Here comes Dr. Mincy!
Hey, screw heaven, screw his boss. Pinky's partying, goddammit.
Hell yeah.
Billy puts on a respectable blazer over his hog costume. It's got a big H in the middle. And sneaks over to the endowment party next door, the fancy party. Judy can't.
Because the big H won't give him away.
He's got
He's
tights
basically
on.
wearing pajamas.
No, he's
with
got a superhero costume on. He has Superman tights with a blazer on. I'll put the blazer on. They won't know him.
He's classy.
you guys notice something about? No, I didn't. You had a blazer on.
He fits right in.
You had a blazer on, right? Yeah.
It doesn't reek of booze and coconut oil and
He had a unitard on under that and red
weed
shiny
smoke
Superman
and
boots.
Barducci's love stink? No, I don't know. Give me anything.
Wait, did you say Varsucci? No, Barducci.
Dude, I'm Camp Barducci.
Barducci
can go down.
Barducci.
Dude,
Barsucci is just
Dick
an imposter,
Varsucci was
man.
the Gary Johnson of the Hogmeister thing. He didn't have a chance, but you know what? I'm going to go and give him my vote because I think he would have done the best for the
No way,
Hogs.
man. Barducci is hog all the way.
Well, Judy can't believe that Billy's there. This is the fancy party. What are you doing here?
Because it was literally next door. How could you...
And she's even more surprised when he grabs Miss Lavatoire's hand and pulls her outside right before the big endowment announcement.
Uh-oh.
He takes her under a giant Confederate statue and tells her that the bronze
That's not a
man,
Confederate statue.
Old August,
That's not a Confederate
is the
statue.
original Hogmeister.
That's the founder of the college. It's not a Confederate
It looked like
statue.
an old Confederate statue.
Well, in
It was
85,
just a
it
bronze
could have been.
statue.
It could have been.
It looked like every Confederate statue they've torn
Look,
down.
the only
No,
Confederate...
it's
The only Confederate thing in this was Johnny Lee's guitar.
that is true. that was very
It
Confederate.
had a big flag. Oh, and Dick Varsucci had a Confederate flag thong on when he strutted out on stage.
See, that's why. No.
That's why you got to go Barducci.
Barducci. all the way.
Barducci's
He
the
was
way to
wearing
go.
it because he respected his ancestors.
I don't think so.
Heritage, not hate. That's what you got to do.
Heritage, not hate. That was Varsucci's whole thing.
Barducci's thing was party.
Dick
You got to
Varsu-
go with Barducci.
Barducci.
Oh, you know what? I'm switching teams. I'm going Barducci.
Yes. Come over to the Barducci.
Well, he looks at the statue of Old August was the guy's name, the original hog.
Augustus.
And dude, Billy says, yeah, he took what he wanted right now and he suffered the consequences later. He was the original date rapist.
That's why you like him, Batson. You want to take what you want and suffer the consequences later.
He just took what he wanted. He didn't take no for an answer.
He's all
you put the thing in the drink.
No wonder.
Speaking of which, he throws her off
For
the
some
lawn.
reason, I was waiting for them to like just look down at like some
He
sort of
pulls out
like
the bottle of
memorial,
champagne.
like some sort of like bronze plate with like a quote, and he's like, I don't know what I did, but I did it.
I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it in Montreal, baby, but in America we always drop a few of these in our champagne.
Just like the great founder of our college, Augustus Cosby, used to say.
You put the
We put the old pills here to drink and swirl it around so they disappeared. I'll go back.
oh, you know what?
I'll go back to Bert.
Billy also still thinking that Miss Lavatoire is Ursula's cousin Nina from Montreal. He offhandedly tells her, you know what, this endowment thing's a sham anyway. The money's not actually going to serious funding for the students. She's listening. That really catches her attention. Back in the fancy party, Grimshaw, his drunk second wife, and Judy are suffering through a boring-ass orchestra concert from this little string quartet, wondering where the hell Mrs. Lavatoire went. Maybe to the lavatory?
Oh, that joke.
That was right off the noggin.
That was fucking terrible.
You've been waiting all show to do that.
No, I honestly just
Let's
came
see,
up.
Miss Lavatoire could listen to the boring string quartet or party with the gleaming spires. That's
where-
what's called a no-brainer.
Where do you think she is? Well, I'll tell you where she is. She's rocking out with the Gleaming Spires next door.
Dedication!
And our boy Greg is still partying his ass off.
Greg has completely gone.
It is his 10th trip down the slip and slide. For every 5 naked big boob chicks that go down, Greg goes down again.
Come on, you know you. I'd be on that slip and slide too.
Kind of wanted one to set up tonight.
Thanks, Cody. You're our maintenance building guy.
And yet, no one mentioned they wanted a slip and slide.
I thought it went unsaid.
Well,
Some things are so clear that you don't
With
have
this
to say
rain,
them.
we could have just strung one up from the ceiling.
Well, Miss Lavatoire tries to confess to Billy who she really is, but he doesn't care.
Mr. Fun Time.
Dude, he grabs
Oh no!
he grabs her face, Miss Lavatoire's face, and Billy says, "Forget about your shady past, baby. I'm not interested in the mistakes of your wild Canadian youth, driven insane by cabin fever and televised hockey. It all means nothing to me," he says as he pulls her into his arms. But here comes President Grimshaw.
It's like they hired a writer for like 30 minutes.
I
Came up
need
with 2 good lines in there.
something that makes a difference. That's gonna set this movie apart.
Hey, but you know Batson's in love because he grabbed her face rather than her tits or her ass.
Well, and she was conscious.
Well, I was waiting for. It's like, where's your other hit? It's on your ass, baby.
Well,
Here
guess what?
comes Mr. Funhog.
No, here comes Mr. Grimshaw. He comes next door to the
Here
hog
comes
party,
Mr. Grimshaw.
and he grabs that bastard. He tries to pull Miss Labotois away from the underbelly of campus life, but she's not done partying. He also grabs Greg to tell him what a disappointment enemy he is, but Greg's shitface, he didn't give a
Greg doesn't
goddamn
care
what's going on.
anymore.
He didn't care anymore.
The worm is turned for Greg.
So Greg's gone, Labotois gone. All of a sudden, he looks up on stage, and Ursula's still dancing her ass off on stage with the gleaming spires. He races up there to save her, but they quickly grab his ass and toss him down the slip and slide.
And yet,
Dude, when he gets down to the bottom,
You can't get back up.
it's not like a.
It's baby oil. It's slick baby oil.
But dude, he gives up, and there's a little look on his face like, "Fuck it."
That's called acting, man.
I've been defeated by the hogs.
The hogs win, but he didn't. But dude, he doesn't do anything.
No, he's
other
not
than-
happy. He just sits there.
He just sits there and is like, "Fuck."
I hate this.
It's a really subtle. That guy's really good at
The
subtle
guy was
stuff.
really good. I wasn't that knowledgeable about him as an actor. The only thing I'd ever seen him in was MASH, to where he played kind of like the comedic oaf.
Yeah.
Here, man, you got a lot of look at some subtlety, some comedic subtlety that I was just I kind of want to go back and revisit MASH to see if I got
I'm
that
not
in
going-
there.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do
I'm
that.
not gonna do that.
Oh, I am.
Although I am gonna go back. Billy Batson has acted in quite a few things. He was a valet in Batman Begins.
Yes.
He was a lieutenant in Dunkirk.
Yes.
What?
The guy-
Oh,
the
yeah.
guy's still
I just watched Dunkirk like
You,
Well,
you saw
it's
Billy
weeks ago.
Batson.
33 years apart.
But there was literally 1,000 lieutenants in that. It could have been anybody.
It was literally show him a bullet enters his head. End of Billy
Done.
Batson.
Hey guys, here
I
I
don't-
am. I'm the hog.
I don't remember what
You don't
was
remember
it?
that scene in Dunkirk? Hogmeister.
there dies Mr. Funhog.
What was he in Batman Begins again?
Valet at
Okay.
some kind of.
I'm assuming that was when Bruce Wayne. He walks
Party.
into his
Shows
hotel.
up with the two hotels.
Yeah.
Apparently, he was a child actor.
Yeah, no, he acted from the time he was a
A ton
baby.
of stuff in like the 50s.
The 50s. Like, he acted way his entire life. But,
Oh my god, this song kind of reminds me of Fun Hog.
dude, Mr. President Grimshaw will not be deterred. Here's what he does after he manages to stand up after the slip and slide. He grabs a fire axe from backstage and just buries it in the power box.
I'm pretty sure this is how you get electrocuted.
Well, it was a wooden axe.
And he was covered in that grease from the slip and slide.
You mean
I
a
think it was-
conductor for electricity?
Check out
Look.
the nerd over there.
We've got ghosts that can't pass through things.
Oh, this
we
is
don't
what-
understand the physics of this world.
This is what you're hung up on?
Here's what he does. He buries the axe in the power box, and all the electricity is cut out in the hog party.
The pheromones given off by Barducci protected him from an electrical fire.
It's true.
Doctor,
It's true.
what kind of thrill would you get with 2 to 3 large-breasted women rubbing your head with oil after zipping down a 10-foot slip and slide?
My God, Mr. Cade, the unbelievable horniness I'd be feeling couldn't be measured by a scale made by modern scientists. I mean, every fiber of my being would be on fire with horniness.
Have you ever been involved in any research on the university level documenting levels of horniness
I have.
and the results?
I'm afraid you'll have to read my position paper.
Oh, that sounds good.
When will that be available?
Well, as my editors and several different law firms told me, it's far too early to tell.
That's the answer I was looking for. Man, speaking of partying, it's a party. You know what's a guaranteed winning cigar to bring to your next party or social gathering?
Do tell. Do tell.
Why, Kentucky Fire Cured Sweets, of course. Guess what I'm smoking right now?
A Kentucky Fire Cure Sweet?
I sure am. I had 1 or 2 left over from our last barn smoker. They feature Kentucky seed tobacco grown that's fire cured in Hopkinsville, Kentucky, along with Nicaraguan fillers. The cigar is wrapped in a Mexican San Andres wrapper with a sweetened tip. The mouthfeel on the cigar is like bacon maple goodness mixed with bourbon and barbecue, which is the best description of any cigar ever made. I tried one of these back at the IPCPR trade show in Vegas we went to, and I actually liked it a lot better than the regular line KFC. I thought the sweetness really added something to it. I do have another one if anybody else wants to light one up after tonight's cigar.
Okay. Yeah.
I found 2 of them tonight, and since we're going to be talking about it, I thought, why not? Plus, it kind of fits in the theme of the night with the barrels and the bourbon. And
no, I agree with you. That sweetness really, really kind of accents it.
It really does. I really prefer it to the original KFCs. So you should definitely head on over to your favorite Drew Diplomat retailer or favorite online store and check them out. ASAP. Go do it.
Here comes Mr. Fun Hog.
Dedication!
Yeah!
Tell him Mr. Funhog sent you, and you'll get no kind of discount whatsoever.
But you should, damn it.
But you should. If we ever get our own discount code from a retailer, that's going to be it.
It's going to be Fun Hog.
Look, I'm really tired of putting this up. No, you're going to put Fun Hog.
Wait a minute.
I don't know. I could see.
I put in promo code Funhog, and it charged me 20% more. TNCC, baby.
It's the way
we do things differently.
Lavatoire!
I could see Fabian going down for a Mr. Fun Hog discount code.
Yeah, but he doesn't sell cigars.
That's why I could see him being down for
Sure, I'll give you a promo code.
Absolutely.
I don't have any way to people to buy cigars from me. Sure. You know what? 100% off every cigar I sell.
Of nothing.
Of nothing.
Mr. Fun Hog! Oh no!
Outside in the quad.
Don't step on it at Texas A&M.
As Grimshaw drags his daughter
PSA.
Ursula away from the hog party, he sees Miss Lavatoire snuggled up against a tree with Billy and grabs her and drags her away too. So Billy makes himself invisible backstage at the fancy party, and he looks around and we don't see what it is, but he starts filling something with tanks of helium.
Where did he just get this?
I don't know, but I think we're going to find out soon what he's up to. What could it be? We don't know. Well, meanwhile, once Mrs. Lavatoire is given the mic on stage, finally the orchestra gets a break and she's at her proper party. And as she grabs the mic, all the hog attendees from the next door party are making their way into the fancy party and integrating with all the suits and the swells. And they're stumbling, whereas the other partygoers are kind of sober.
Apparently their security is not very good at this
there's no security.
shindig.
She tells the crowd that she was brought here from Paris to give $12 million to the university, and she will.
In '84, that was like $12 billion. I'm pretty sure that's
pretty
how.
much.
That's
I
the
think
mathematic.
that's
the mathematic
You
formula.
just add 3 zeros.
Yeah.
And she will.
checks
She's going to
out.
give that money. She promised that endowment. She's going to give it. But she's not going to give it to build a building that the students don't even want. That's when you see the President Grimshaw's brother-in-law. That's the only shot we have of him. He's like, he's so angry. Mr. Leebody, I believe was his name. She's going to build a new student center, and she's going to make Hog Day an official school holiday.
What?
As it has, as she says, quote, changed her life forever. Billy and his blazer are sitting in the back room, and they pump their fists. Yeah!
It's now a national holiday.
Well, not national. She doesn't have that authority.
Small steps. Small steps.
Oh, and she also announces that the hog party is going to continue all night at President Grimshaw's house. What a little zinger she got in there.
The Gleaming Spires are already there setting up their drum kit.
They're already on the way. Wait, we get $500 more to party on? All right, let's do
Hey,
it.
remember Billy was filling something up with helium? Well, it's his penis. It can't actually get hard on... No. Of course not.
Well, he is a ghost.
It's
Yeah.
a giant white hog head, and it slowly floats out on stage. I mean, this thing is huge. And it pushes a disheveled President Grimshaw off the mic as he tries desperately to explain this change of course to all the other distinguished alumni and big donors. Take that, Grimshaw. A giant floating hog head.
Floyd style.
I like
But my question is,
total Floyd
he
style.
clearly, regardless of everything else, already had this planned out. That giant hog's head was going to come out regardless of today's activities.
That's right.
He's the Hogmeister.
It's a Hogmeister.
He's Mr. Fun Hog. Of course he was going to blast out
Well,
the
I'm just saying,
endowment
like,
party.
whether he died or not, this was going to happen.
He doesn't plan his dates in advance enough to have a condom, but he's had this hog head planned for months.
You don't have
That's
a
why
condom?
he's
Look,
Mr.
baby, I used
Hogmeister.
every condom I could
For
find to
14
make this
years
giant
later.
hog's head. It's the only material that can hold the air.
We used 3 of those black guy condoms to construct this 7-foot hog head.
It's funny because it's true.
We cut to the president's spacious house where a shit ton of naked hogs and hogettes are partying their collective asses off.
They're in the swimming pool.
You were right, Duck. The Gleaming Spires have set up in the living room. They're rocking out. That didn't take them long at all to get over there.
Well, they probably just used one of these because they're already dead.
They're rocking the fucking house. A drunk Greg tries to dance with Judy, but she ain't having it. President Grimshaw's nursing a bottle.
Greg's changed.
Grimshaw is a beaten man. He's just sucking down a bottle.
He's sitting on
Drunk
the floor of
dad.
his kitchen.
He's in the floor of his
He-
own kitchen
He did not know it, but he just elevated himself in this scene
to one of our drunk
into
dads.
the status of drunk dad.
He's watching all these kids he doesn't know ruin his house, and he's just sucking on that bottle on the kitchen floor.
Drunk dad.
I was just
dad.
waiting for that finger to pop up. Like,
He's given up, and rightfully so, as he's been defeated
There's-
mightily by the hogs and hogettes. They won.
Let me revisit. There's Andy from Pretty in Pink. There's the dude from The Guest.
And now this guy's
And now
way,
Mr. Grimshaw.
way low there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that he's like in the upper echelon of the.
No, but he's on his way.
He's-
Oh, if there was a sequel, he would definitely be on his way. But not only is he lost, to add insult to injury, Ursula, his daughter, finds him and asks, hey, once Miss Lavatois flies back to France and the guest room's open, can the Gleaming Spires move in? Because their house just burned down. They need a place to live. To which he drunkenly stands up, turns on the oven, and opens the door. He's sticking his head in there. I'm assuming.
he did.
Come on,
It
Frank.
happened.
Billy tells Miss
Take control of your family, damn it.
Billy tells Miss Lavatois his big secret, that he's dead. But she's not sweating it. If you're truly a ghost, it will give you a valid excuse not to call me in the morning.
So let's do this.
I'm not worried. I'm not worried at all.
Kind of sounded a little Austrian
Oh,
there.
Miss
but-
Lavatois,
That
where
was
were
my
you in my
best
life?
French beautiful woman accent. I'm sorry I didn't nail it.
How are
sorry,
you
babe.
supposed
I'm
to
not
react to this?
Gerard Depardieu.
Well, I gave you $20 there, Frenchie, for the endowment. I mean, you need a medical supply. Don't run itself, goddammit. How much do you want out of me? Fucking goddamn gold digger. Somebody,
I'm like Juliette Binoche with a quarter pounder in her mouth.
Kate, why don't you shut that
Take
shit
that,
up?
babe.
Give me another devil. Give me another devil's envy there, will you?
Another devil's envy up. You got it, though.
I'm sorry. Y'all could do the rest of the podcast and just Dennis Miller and Burt voices.
Dude, my Dennis
That'd
Miller's
be
is turned
great.
into something
I don't
totally-
care. It's great.
Where's the goddamn bottle? I was Mr. Von Hog back at the University of Pittsburgh, 1946.
She's not worried that he's dead. And that makes him really uncomfortable that she's so open to sleeping with him. He's not used to that.
Christ,
It
my wife
should
says I'm
because his modus operandi is that those that resist.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's why he's so uncomfortable. She's open to it. She's like, oh, you want to sleep with me?
dead. I really don't know how to handle this.
Yeah.
I got to go get that helium
Where's
tank
that-
to give myself a boner.
Where's that Trudy?
I can't get hard when chicks are into me. Oh, and guess what? Uncle Piggy is putting the moves on Grimshaw's alcoholic second wife.
Man, they needed more of her in this.
And in another part of the house,
Barducci is coming on to Ursula.
Lasky
no.
and
That would have
Rita.
been awesome.
And finally,
Lasky and Rita, who you're right, there should have been more of in the middle part, his best friends, they're finally getting it on. We always knew there was a little spark there going on.
Yeah.
because he literally pointed it out.
Because she hadn't spent any time with Dick Varspucci. By the way, when I check into hotels from now on at these barn smokers, if you guys need to find me, I'm checked in under the name Dick Varspucci. Everything's coming together, folks.
I'm checking in under Johnny Funhog.
I'm going Tut Barducci.
Everything is coming together. Yes. Could you just look in the computer, anything that ends with Uchi? One of us is in there.
Wait,
somewhere.
wasn't that road in Florida, Narcoossee Road?
It was. I think we did go down Narcoossee Road.
You were going to introduce me as Doc Narcoossee?
And it was.
I think that's right. That's
Dr.
right.
Steve Narcoossee.
Narcoossee. that's
Everything
it.
in Florida was named after Narcoossee. It was like the Narcoossee Shopping Center, the Narcoossee Medical Complex. Narcoossee. Everybody's loins are coming together fabulously. In fact, Rita asked Billy, "Do you still have that unlucky condom with you?" And he's like, "It's all yours." Man, there's a great... It's probably less, but it seemed like 2 or 3 minutes here of just random naked girls playing in Grimshaw's pool. And they're all beautiful, too.
Yes.
There's not a scrub.
No.
This movie just has just amazing looking chicks.
They call it chicken when you...
Yeah,
When chick up on top of your
when you get chick on
shoulders.
your shoulders, and they all have big,
They're all
giant
topless.
boobs, and
One guy reaches up and grabs another one's bikini bottom and pulls it off.
yeah.
She looks like she's just having fun with it.
Oh, I thought you meant they grabbed Dick Varsucci's.
No, I don't.
Told his-
There is no Dick Varsucci. There was Barducci, and that was it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You think I made up like Fight Club, an imaginary adversary
I
for
believe you have.
for Barducci called Dick Varsucci? He's all in my imagination.
I think so.
Yeah. Your theory is I'm slowly going mad.
I don't know about
Other
slow.
than the slowly part, yes, that's pretty much the working theory.
Yeah.
In
There
fact,
goes Mr. Funhog.
in fact,
He's lost touch with reality.
Dick Varsucci is me. I'm Dick Varsucci.
If you say so.
Dedication.
I might need to look into some things. Well, Judy tends to President Grimshaw. She even helps his hammered ass drink some water from the sink tap, trying to sober up.
Yeah, I'm not
That doesn't
ordering
work,
this
by the
again.
way. That
No,
doesn't work.
It does not.
What's that?
I'm not ordering this.
So the doctor made you finally admit you don't like the beer.
Yeah. I mean,
What?
it's fine.
I'm going to stick with the axe. I actually would order again.
It's fine. I'm just
Yeah.
not ordering
If
it
there was
again.
nothing else available, and
Could I have some stale dishwater, please?
Yeah. Yeah.
Look, Judy is trying to sober him up. She's trying to help him. She still needs his endorsement to get the Oxford Fellowship. She puts his head under the sink and pours some water into his mouth. He tells her there's only one more step to get your beloved Oxford Fellowship as he forces himself on her. And there's not
No,
like...
he doesn't.
Yeah, he does. He like
does.
starts grabbing her and trying to kiss her.
C80s.
No, that's the tuts. Like, that's nothing. That's how it goes.
well, no, touch right there. It's the 80s. I mean, you do what you want. You know?
But wait for it.
Uncle Pinky.
Drunk Greg shows up and intervenes.
Hey,
Good old drunk Greg.
He saves
go,
the day.
Greg.
He's with the hogs now. He saved the day. Grimshaw grabs his bottle of vodka and storms off. It doesn't matter. I got a wife I can screw anyway. She's upstairs with Uncle Pinky. She forgot the Pinky factor.
No pinky.
Two in the pinky, one in the stinky.
Yaks, much like that incident you had back in the late 90s.
Dedication.
I'll leave that alone.
I should hope so, because I have no idea what you're talking about.
We'll talk later.
Maybe.
Well, Greg gets Judy to agree
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
that if she indeed doesn't get the Oxford
They're
Fellowship
friends.
because of this bullshit,
Christ, I don't know. Shit.
he says you can spend the summer at my grandparents' house
That's
in the
not
country
a
with me.
pinky in the rabbit hole.
And she seems pretty agreeable to spend the country. Hey, if I don't get the fellowship of my dreams, I'll just go hang out at your grandparents' house all summer.
Sounds great. That's what I need.
There's no pinkies in those rabbit holes.
It does sound great till he says this. Oh yeah, and I'll be there along with the hogs and the gleaming spires. It's party time.
All summer long.
All summer long. She's like, I thought you were decent. I thought you were wholesome. No, he's Greg. The
You
blazer is off, bitch.
You need to go down this slide. It will alter your mind.
open your mind. Like
Quado.
Quado from
Go
Total.
down the slide.
Go down the
Open
slide,
your mind,
Wade.
Judy.
Open your mind.
Open your mind to me.
Go down the slip and slime. I believe they called it the slip and slime.
Well, you just called it that, so I guess so.
And somehow we just compared Greg
Quado.
to Quado from Total Recall.
That's what we do, folks.
Do that, Joe Rogan. Take that, Mark Maron. That's the only two podcasters I've ever heard of.
They both just said no.
Brett Easton Ellis has a podcast.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Take that, Brett Easton Ellis.
Actually, I'm kind of on his side now after he just gave this scathing review where he called the millennials generation wuss, but that's a whole other story. Continue.
Perhaps to address in a millennial episode.
Maybe
Or a
they
wuss
just-
episode.
Maybe they just need to slip and slide in the gleaming spires.
I disagree.
As Billy and Miss Lavatoire
I'm pro-millennial.
do it on the roof.
Batson style.
Stay with me. We're almost done.
Okay.
Well, of course they can do it on the roof. There's
Billy-
no drones to film them.
Billy and Miss Lavatoire, it's the 80s, there's no drones. They're doing it up on the roof. With blankets wrapped around their naked bodies so we don't get to see her.
Lame.
You got a little bit of side boob. That was about it.
Uncle Pinky wraps things up with Miss Grimshaw. Although he didn't wrap it up. There's no condoms there.
Well, he's a ghost.
That's true. It's midnight.
Which leads me to a question, Doctor, about the... no.
DNA's... no. Of course, I think I know where you're going.
I don't want to go...
Ghost sperm!
I don't want to follow this rabbit hole.
Take us home, Cap.
It's midnight. And Uncle Pinky has to get Billy off to heaven. A blue light begins to shine over the house, and everybody stops what they're doing, and things get super quiet. They suddenly remember, hey, didn't Billy say something about him being a dead ghost?
This is where, and sorry, I do have to interject something quickly here. This is where I saw a post effect. That cheesy flashing strobe light, where the whole crew of Hogs and Hogettes is down there being filmed from one angle. They're looking up, and then you look up and see that cheesy shit.
Oh, yeah, it was terrible.
It's like a blue light on a cardboard box, man.
Yeah, they spent all their money on that giant floating hogshead.
I love this moment. Uncle Pinky, because, Miss Lavatoire, she knows that it's to Billy's time to actually die and go to the afterlife. Uncle Pinky hears the crying. He crawls out onto the roof next to them. Sure enough, you follow the sounds of a woman crying, you'll always find a Batson. Yeah, because you're all rapists.
I just thank God my
No
name wasn't
shit.
in there.
No shit, asshole.
Fancy stuff.
Follow the sound of a woman crying, you'll find the doc.
Dude, they had like
Wait a
maybe a chance
It's not funny anymore.
maybe a chance to redeem.
No.
This is
pretty
our
goddamn
hero.
funny.
We
Should
want
we
him.
put in some different dialogue? No.
Fucking funny to me.
We
No.
want him to. We should want him to live at the end of the movie because he's been our hero this whole thing. No, I'm waiting for the hell scene at the end.
I'm just waiting for like some sort of like the gleaming spires are turning into like some sort of metal band and like, to hell.
It's me. No. Yeah, that's what he actually says. Pinky makes up a story. I got to get Billy to a big meeting in New York City. We're businessmen. He's like, no, Pinky.
Told her the truth.
I told her the truth. For the first time in my life, I've told a girl the truth.
I've said the truth to a woman.
I usually say the condom's on.
Once again, I need that metal band.
and then Pinky's response, well, I guess the bloodline's diluted.
The truth? Oh boy, the old Batson DNA must be getting diluted. What a fucking shit show this DNA line
And
is.
you guys are going to heaven.
Yeah, but they got to hurry off and get to heaven. They spent the rest of their days in eternities with 90 virgins or whatever.
And
That's not
premium
heaven.
cigars.
Well, that's not heaven. That's something else, right?
Yeah, it's
Close enough.
completely different.
Close enough.
Nonetheless, it's time for them to get back to the hospital. They have to go back to where his body is to get back into the white light. I've never been so conflicted about an 80s movie before.
But you know
It's
what
so
I'm not.
good, but the main people in it are so bad.
But you know what I'm not conflicted about? Barducci.
No
You
one's
look
com-
sober enough to drive. Get in this van and drive us to the hospital, Barducci.
Well, I think Dick Varsucci offered to drive, and they shot him
man,
down.
no.
Christ's sake, there is no...
Dude, Barsucci sucks.
There is no Varsucci.
It's horrible.
It's Cade Psyche. It's broken. There's only Barducci.
It's only Barducci,
You
man.
just said Varsucci sucks. How could he suck if he doesn't exist?
Because he doesn't exist. That's why he sucks.
That's it. I'm drawing.
I've studied the Dow.
Thing.
Yeah, get that dick drum going.
Oh no, that's a pretty good dick that I drew there,
You know what? I'm dedicated.
Mr. Funhog.
I'm dedicated to the concept of Dick Varsucci. Well, they all pile into the Gleaming Spires 18 van and head off to the hospital.
That is one sweet van.
It is.
I kind of want to get one restored.
Doctor, will you sell yours?
Fuck you, Dick Brain. I thought that was like trying to be a poignant 80s scene where all his friends, Lasky, what's the
Everybody
Dick's
jumps in.
name?
Dick Varspucci?
Barducci.
What about Dick Varspucci? He was there.
He's not a character. What was Tony Hudson's name?
Rita.
They all run down to like get into the van. That was like a typical 80s scene. Like, we're going to back up our friend, even though we've been edited out of most of this film.
True. I think there were some cutscenes with them. I would hope so. Otherwise, the screenwriter really blew the pooch.
I had 8 hours of screen material.
I thought there should have been more Vic Varspucci.
No, stop it. Stop
Jesus
it.
Christ.
Stop it, man. More Dennis Miller jokes. No, less
Dick
Varspucci.
Varspucci jokes.
I hate Varspucci. I'll kick that guy's ass.
It's like Donovan McNabb's forehead on a 3rd and long.
I don't even know what that means. It's funny.
Am I right, Chachi?
That doesn't even make any goddamn sense. I mean, the only quarterback I know where the shit is Danny Don Meredith, you dumb fuck. Get on with it.
It's like, we get it. You drink iced tea.
I don't even know. Jesus Christ, tell me what the fuck is he talking
What
about.
was that? The penguin?
My Dennis Miller has evolved into the
Goddamn
penguin.
Burgess Meredith.
Burgess Meredith over here, for Christ's fucking sake. To finish the goddamn show, will you?
Yeah, that's what I'm paid for.
I ain't getting paid for shit.
Miss Lavatois is super sad.
Oh, yeah.
So are Lasky and Rita. Pinky drags Billy into the hospital and straight into the bright white light. The boss meets them and says, "They're too late. You missed the deadline." Well, yeah, you were congaing your ass off. The boss.
This is
Typical Batson DNA. You mean we drank and partied and molested and we didn't get to where
But
we're
here's
supposed
where
to be?
the end of the movie gets really just, from a screenwriting, sloppy as hell. The boss and Uncle Pink. No, it makes no sense. The boss and Pinky disappear into the light, and suddenly Billy snaps awake in his coma on the hospital bed.
So instead of going to heaven, we'll just put you back to life.
Or go to hell.
You've raped so much, you know what? We're just going to not even let you go to hell. You get to live your whole life to rape more. Asshole. What?
Yeah.
So Dr. Dick Varspucci comes in
Oh,
and says, "This man still has a heart on." It's a great scene, right?
Yeah.
And
Because
the nurse is like, "Roger, Dr. Varspucci."
I was actually hoping they'd bring back those 2 nurses from earlier.
Me too. Hey, if they were my nurses, I'd probably have a heart on too. The gang all rushes in and brags dude, you're alive, we can't believe it. And he brags to the doctors like, "I swear, you've been here all night long in this coma." And Billy, who, you would hope had learned a lesson, nope.
No.
They
Not
swore
in 85.
They swore Hog Day would kill me, but here I am. Let's party! He's learned absolutely nothing.
Also, if now I think he would turn
Good.
to Lavatois and be like, if you loved my ghost penis, you're gonna love the real thing.
I don't know if his ghost penis was different than his regular penis.
I'm just saying, obviously, she enjoyed the ghost penis,
She did.
so
Now
How
it
is that-
fits
how does
inside those 7-foot-long black condoms.
When she took off his undies, he went, "Woo!"
giant hog's head just floats out.
And I would have loved this ghost penis. If it weren't for those damn kids. I don't even know what that means.
Actually, that would actually be a sweet
I
scene.
don't know.
It was a Scooby-Doo thing.
Wheels
Ghosts.
are falling off.
Yeah, quickly. Let me.
Wheels fell off on this thing like
The important
2
thing,
hours ago.
The important thing is, TNCC style, Billy has learned nothing. from his
He's learned
mistakes.
nothing. He's escaped death, and he's ready to keep partying.
But he does say he owes it all to Miss Lavatois as he grabs her face and starts sucking on it. And sure
after-
enough, we cut back to the house party for some more Gleaming Spires and more titties. They go back to the party and just start partying some more.
I would always hope he would stand up and be like, after 14 years of being a senior, I'm ready to graduate.
Or how about, "I'm ready to quit raping chicks"? Nope. Here comes Mr. Fun Hug.
Time time to do some raping.
Dude, that would have been funny if he grabbed Miss Lavatoire's face, was like, done with you, and just ran back to the party.
Grabbed Ursula's head and shoved it in his lap.
Just,
dedication.
that is dedication to being an asshole. The end. That's the end of our film tonight.
It was a heartwarming piece of cinema. I loved it.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe how much I loved it. I loved it.
It was great.
Like, this is maybe on 2 or 3 viewings over the last week. This is maybe cracked into my top 5 80s TNA movies.
It's pretty. That's a.
I loved it.
That's a bold statement, but
It had everything.
is.
It had everything.
It did.
Except likable characters,
I still like Batson.
which I think are overrated to begin
Except
with.
for Dick Varspucci. That guy was great.
Barducci, damn it!
He knows. No, but seriously, it was fun. The
It
chicks
was
were
a
hot.
ton of fun.
It was fun.
The soundtrack was rocking. It had I mean, it was great. I'm putting it up there with Spring Break. I'm putting it up there with Hot Dog. I'm putting it up there with... Whoa. Hot Dog?
No.
Top of the hill, baby. Top of the hill.
Damn.
Man,
Hot
it's a
dog
bold
up-
statement.
Hot dog up the creek. No.
Now, granted, I've seen Hot Dog 20 times. I've only seen this 3 times.
I think what this movie has going for it is more nostalgia than anything. It's just it harkens back to a day that, rape aside, it was
Yeah,
just
you know what the day you were
fun.
talking about was? The Old West.
Kinda.
Rape wasn't a...
No, but first of all,
You're harking back to an old day where... I can use my Trace Atkins voice.
There was-
Where men were men and women were seen as...
well, I don't know, Kate. There actually isn't any successful rape
A
carried on,
means
but there's a
to
lot
an
of
end.
attempts at it. Goddammit.
Law was far and beyond the controls
do.
of... Dude, it was the 80s. That was not allowed. Kate, it was a simpler time. I was alive.
No one
during that time,
actually rapes anyone.
Thank you. Except
The
for
He tries.
the
Except for the
aggressive sexual
pinky go.
behavior was considered at that time amusing.
It was.
Pinky's ghost
Unfortunately.
might have crossed a line. It
Oh,
did.
you think?
I like the funness of it. I like the fact that everybody was dancing their fucking
And even
ass
the
off,
bad guy
man.
Greg was having fun. Like there was never any like evil. Even Grimshaw, the evil dean, wasn't evil at all. He was just
You know
a
what?
horny drunk asshole,
it
like
equals-
everybody else in the movie.
It's a
I'm
party
sorry,
movie.
Exactly. And I love the fact that, no matter what else is going on, it comes down to partying versus just being a stuffy dick. No, just go party.
Also,
And we need a lot more of that right now. I mean, when people are burning fucking Nike shoes just because they came up with
hoping we get through tonight.
No,
Yeah,
I'll go and
skirt
do it.
over that,
I'll
for Christ's sake.
I have to go. I have to go there. When we get so upset and boycott over every little freaking thing, no, just go party your ass off with the hogs.
Actually, you know what?
one of the
I'm alright with
things.
that, Ted.
One
I
of
can
the
live with
things.
that.
One of the
I can live with that.
One of the things you said about Up the Creek, and I think we talked about Spring Break as well. But one of the things that you liked about Up the Creek, and was that, and this is another thing too, that was accepted then, that I don't know if you see too much of this anymore, is rampant alcohol abuse. And in Up the Creek, you talked about that with not Gonzer, but what's their the nerd?
The nerd. When they're driving cross country, he's got a briefcase with mixing stuff, and he's making road drinks as
But
they drive.
you made a comment where you said you really appreciated the fact that there was no point at the end of that movie where it was like, all right, I've had it. No, the party kept going. There was no apology for that. So Batson is going to go right back to his partying ways. He's lascivious.
It was the antithesis to John Hughes.
He doesn't actually rape anyone. He tries to give some drinks to people. There's no drugs involved in it. There's no apology for the party aspect of it.
He is, as Tut said, and we touched on with our Up the Creek episode. I think our 2 episode. I think it was our 2nd episode ever. We're still kind of figuring this thing out. But these movies are the antithesis of the John Hughes, where you have the singular ducky
or the
There's no angst.
Anthony Michael Hall, who pines and really struggles over every word he says to these girls because he wants to hit the right notes and to really win over their emotions. These guys, they just want to see some titties.
There's no romantic poignancy. It's we're gonna party.
Yes.
Just party, man.
And the good guys win, and the good guys have faults, but there's no apology for it. In that sense, there's a lot of a Porky's kind of spirit.
I'm also going to give a rare pat on the back to Tut here because he did.
Hey, all right.
Because he did come out with the Kaepernick thing. In this day and age, where last week it was In-N-Out Burger, people were protesting that side. Now this week they're protesting. They're cutting off their Nike, burning their Nikes.
Tomorrow they're
because
going to
of
be doing.
this.
Levi just came out with like a gun thing, so everybody's going to be burning their Levi's.
It's so ridiculous. With
Man, just party. Just party.
If you went with Tut's, kind of groundbreaking theory of just party. Hey, we can get some people together and be really pissed off about this thing and really be fired up and just be angry for a good week about this, or
till we move on to the next thing,
and then we'll be pissed off about that, or we could just get some booze and just party.
Let's party. I like that.
I
know that. I think that you have a problem with the movie PCU with Piven.
I honestly have no memory of it.
There's a scene in there, and I harken back to it because it's kind of like the basis of my.
Actually, not bad if you go back and watch
it.
No,
I just haven't seen it.
I was saying you go back and watch it.
I watched it. I worked at the movie theater when it was there, and I was so drunk.
There's one scene that's kind of the basis of,
which is ironic because I was 16 years old,
of my philosophy, and there's like this There's all these people standing in line at a college kegger, and they're all debating who should get to the front of the line. And it's like the lesbians and homosexuals are like, well, we should get to the front of the line because we're persecuted. The black guys are like, well, we've been persecuted longer than you.
And this
the
is
women,
in 1993, mind you.
1993. The women are like, well, we've been persecuted way longer than you. Everybody's coming up with these legitimate reasons of why they've been persecuted. And this one guy's like, you're standing in line at the kegger, at the bash of all bashes. Just be happy. Go in, drink beer, have fun, get laid.
That's where my Mr. Fun Hog comes in, is that my whole thing
Tut,
is...
That's really a great viewpoint from your white privilege.
Yeah, whatever. So whatever. That's cool. You want to disconnect? You want to discount because of the color of my skin?
I blame
Fuck you.
Simmer down.
Drink you another beer, man.
Jesus Christ, Tuttle, calm down there, goddammit.
That was awesome.
Just drink you another damn beer, man.
Here's my whole mindset.
And I understand that this is out. I understand that
it totally worked.
I understand that this is outdated because, damn it, our podcast is outdated. Our podcast is offensive as hell. Our podcast is not accepted by society. Our podcast isn't accepted by Google. It's not accepted by Facebook. It's barely accepted by Twitter.
It's barely accepted by society.
Just go out and have fun, man. Just
do whatever you want to do. Say whatever you want to say. If the end result of whatever anybody does or says is you leave me alone to let me live my life the way I want to, then do whatever the goddamn fuck you want to do or say.
I kind of disagree with it, but I'll add to it.
Unless you're Billy Batson.
Well,
he's a bad guy.
Batson can do what he wants as long as he stays out of my face.
I'll just add to it. Billy
Batson can do it.
It's what he's shoving in other people's face when they're unconscious.
I'll add to that. Don't be an asshole. I mean, party your ass off, but don't be an asshole.
That should be our new T-shirt. Just party. ...
Also,
but don't be an asshole.
Also, I question this point. As a ghost, why did he need a condom? Does he have ghost semen or something?
Here comes Mr. Ghost Sperm.
Hey, we're picking up something on the sonogram. Woo!
I'm just saying. Woo! There's so many questions.
Although that's when it would come up like, Billy, I need to talk to you about child support. It just disappears.
Totally wrong.
Batson curse.
Just party. Just party.
It's the Batson curse. I died, I was brought back to life, and I'm still raping chicks. I'm so cursed.
Dude, the next day when he can't go to the corporeal form anymore, Lavatoire's all, Billy, I am no longer having my period. He's all, oh, damn it, it ain't working no more. Shit. Oh, shit.
Why are you doing that to your head?
Just trying to get the thing going.
One more time.
I gotta go steal
Uncle
a car.
Biggie!
I gotta go steal a car and get in a wreck.
Yeah, because getting a bazillionaire French chick pregnant would be the end of the world.
Well, sorry that I tried to be funny. It sounds like I like to party more than some other people.
I'm just saying, it will tie it all into Bill Shakespeare when Puck said, "If this Puck has offended, think of this, and all is mended."
Hey, Kate, what do we got a writer over there? Sounds like Bill Shakespeare.
Just party your ass
It's
off,
more like
man.
Bill Batson.
And don't be an asshole.
I got news for you, Mr. Shakespeare. When your writing career doesn't turn out how you want to do, you're spending your time using your writing paper for role of newbies. You're gonna find yourself living in a van down behind Cade's house
No, he's not.
Dick
no,
Vespucci.
No, I,
with Dick Vespucci. The two of you are gonna have a worthless stand-up comedy act.
Oh my God!
wait.
I question all my life
wait a
choices
minute.
now.
If he's going to be with Vespucci, I might give him a little bit of land out back to. I'm a Dick Vespucci supporter. The guy just needs to get back on his feet.
You know what, Kate? I wish you could do old Doc a favor and shot your friggin' yapper.
Let's just party.
Let's just party.
And don't be assholes.
I
The
like
problem is
party your ass off. Don't be an asshole.
The problem is certain people just want to party, and then white middle-aged ladies call the cops on them, and then people get shot. So a guy actually tried to kind of bring that to the public attention, took a knee for it, and lost his job. And then Nike is like, you know what? We'll use you in your little ad. Keep in mind, Nike uses, prepubescent Chinese kids to make their fucking shoes. So if this is what you have a problem with, Nike, maybe you should have been paying attention a little bit earlier. But the fact is, you got a problem with a black guy bringing attention to something. Look in the mirror. That's what you got a problem with.
So you're saying that these right here, these Nikes, mean that I am in favor of African American men speaking out against police brutality and social injustice, but also against the use of 12-year-old Vietnamese labor.
No, I'm saying you're
Yes,
with
yes.
the first part, and
Yeah.
you're okay with the second part. Right on.
That's right.
That's it.
Funhouse!
That's the new American way, my friend.
The
Give
truth
it a
is, I don't
break.
give a shit about anything.
Chick-fil-A, In-N-Out, they're all assholes, and they all give money to both sides. Nobody gives a shit. Just party.
Just party.
Just
Just
party.
let us party.
Just take a note from Mr. Funhog, man. Dance your fucking ass off. Go down a slip and slide. Drink some fucking beers.
Be Greg.
Be Greg. Open your mind. Greg was a stuck-up, little suffocating conservative, and he got one taste of...
Vending machine chili.
That's not where I was going.
Oh, sorry.
But you know what?
It's true. It's true.
That is a...
Just live your life like you're in the Gleaming Spires from 1981 to 1985.
Live your life like you would eat vending machine chili. What the hell?
Wouldn't you want to go back to 81 to 85?
Live your
Yes.
life like you would eat
In a
vending
heartbeat.
machine chili.
I'm going to buy the new Gleaming Spires cassette tape, go play some games at the arcade, watch a Friday the 13th movie in the theater, and take my silly know-nothing girlfriend
Hey.
out to the lake and have sex without a condom.
We made fun of Greg. He turned the corner.
He's child support for like the next 30
We made fun of Greg. He turned the corner.
I like that guy.
I
like him.
All you stuck up on both sides of the thing. Both you that are so stuck up. Goodbye In-N-Out. Goodbye Dick Sporting Goods. Goodbye this and this. You know what? Just take a chill pill. First of all, what you're doing means nothing.
I'm going to the barbecue. Fuck you.
Just buy a beer. Talk to your neighbor and,
Buy
and just
17 of them.
party.
Drink them.
Just party.
Get fucked up.
Tonight's
Goddamn it.
motto:
Just party.
just fucking party.
Mr. Funhouse.
Right on. And you know what helps partying? A fucking headband and a turquoise necklace.
So if
But
you're
if you don't
joining
have
us,
that,
I don't know about that bullshit.
but if you don't have that, you know what's the next best thing? Go into some of our links.
yeah, you can watch us on at TNCC Cast on the Twitters. Join us on Facebook, Tuesday Night Cigar Club. Hit
first
us
of all,
on YouTube, Tuesday Night Cigar
I
Club.
think when you say the Twitters,
No, dude, let him roll.
It doesn't matter. Go on to Instagram, TNCC
we're
underscore
losing all the young
podcast.
people.
Trust me.
them.
Don't you say the Facebooks and don't you say the Instagrams.
I already did.
Oh.
And if you want to buy something off of the Amazons, go to our our website.
If you can't find any of that, go look for it on the Google.
And if you wanted something on famous smoke shops, you go to the Tuesday Night Cigar Club, click on the banner there, buy your cigars. It's
Can
great.
they find us on the Google?
They could. No, I don't know. Are we allowed on the Google?
Well, Trump's going to regulate the Google, so we'll probably be gone from the Google.
We're gone for the Google. Even Google regulates us.
Yeah,
so,
that's true, too.
Yeah.
Go to AOL. And
You know what really grinds my gears?
That's fine. Get us out of here, man.
Boys, we did School Spirit justice. I
did.
encourage everyone out there to rent School Spirit. It's a phenomenal 80s TNA fun fest.
Amen.
It's about partying above all else. We need more of that in today's society.
Yes, we do.
You know what? I'm going to go ahead and recommend Devil's Envy.
I like it.
I will not.
I like it.
I'm going to go with we're split. We're a house divided.
I'm drinking my
50-50.
fourth.
Two, I'll never drink it again. Two, you know what? I'd probably
Oh
drink.
my
You know,
God! There's
actually, it's a
people that
winner on this
disagree on
side.
something and can still get along.
I'm boycotting you.
Look at this.
You
We're
know,
having
Dick
discourse.
Vespucci would drink Devil's Envy.
Dick Varspucci.
There is no Dick Varspucci. That was Barducci. There is no Dick Varspucci.
Varspucci likes this. Barducci hates this.
I will support your right to take a knee during the national anthem, but there is no Dick Varspucci.
He coached the Kansas City Chiefs to a...
Get us out of here.
That was Hank Stram, you moron.
Oh, that was Dick Vermeil.
Oh.
Vermeil, Varspucci, Darcusi.
Get us out.
Yeah, get us out.
Oh, and the cigar, did we like it?
We did.
It actually surprised us. I think the results will be interesting considering our reactions.
Yes.
I got to kind of wrap it up all together here. Speaking of banning Google or regulating Yahoo, or I sound like a retard for saying all these things, there is one thing that we do need to always keep in mind, boys.
Go on.
Do you know what I'm going to say, Doc? Do you want to say it?
I think it's your sign off, brother.
You do it. I want you to do it tonight. You look so damn authoritative in those glasses. You do it.
Well, boys, I think it comes down to let the wings of liberty never lose a feather.
Well done. Sayonara, motherfuckers.
To learn more about the cigars and other libations enjoyed on tonight's episode, you can visit
TheDieselCigar.com and CircleBrewing.com.
For more on O'Brien's Irish Pub, the live music leader in Central Texas, please visit o'brienstemple.com and download their free smartphone app, where you'll find full beer listings including over 40 on tap, menu information, and a calendar of upcoming live events. To listen and purchase music heard on tonight's program, check out www.fritzbeermusic.com. Thank you for listening to the Tuesday Night Cigar Club podcast. This is Keith A. Howell saying until next time, friends, unless we see you sooner at the pub. So keep it smoky, and for God's sake, keep it ballsy as well.